Yes.
Recording for the first
Much more
sessions of
much
the
like
battles.
that new vampire.
Oh, why'd you do this map?
Because Lycus forgot to change it.
Oh yes, we just stick with the default. Oh, they really should make something go above Ultra of Ultimate Darkness, maybe like a halfway decent map, so that when people just start off like this. Alright, well we got our first battle replay of the day. We have greenskins, specifically the Bone Rattlers with their amazing colour scheme, against Skaven. Just regular Skaven, nothing special.
You'll see some very critical mistakes on my part, spell-wise.
Some critical spell mistakes.
Spell mistakes in the sense that I could have just deleted clan rats instantly at the start of the battle, and
But
had
chose
control
not
of
to.
Yeah, and also could have killed a snitch a lot sooner if I used a very special army-wide ability when it came online.
Or a very specific one, quite important to said faction, perhaps. Begins with W, ends with R.
Yeah.
An important tool, that one. Looking at the armies, interesting.
Also, I don't even know why I brought the goblin archers.
They're not, you bought one unit. I'd imagine you just had some money left over, and you're like, I'll bring a unit of goblin archers.
I honestly should have upgraded one of the.
I mean, there's no flying Skaven units, so there's nothing to worry about on that front.
Yeah, like I probably should have just switched out for like black orcs or something.
That is until next Skaven DLC they get Doom rockets as a playable unit. Just throw them as a person. Like a Warlock Master riding.
No. They get a Hell Rocket Volley.
Yeah, right, flying one.
Hellstorm Rocket Battery, where it's like just a bunch of Doom rockets just.
And they also make a Flying Lord because they get a new flying Molder monster into the game.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the Wolf Rider ROR because of the fear they give.
Yeah, there's fear, and they're quite quick as well, so they can chase off. They can really murder running away Skaven quickly.
Granted, you'll see the problem with my situation because of both how the map is and how, and from Lycus' point of view, how he has to. I
can see Lycus having a problem with his old warp lightning cannon he's got there. Clearly didn't look at. This is why you look at the map before you make your armies, because he has a warp lightning cannon on a hill like this. So let's have a look first at the green skin army. Go ahead, Slicker.
All right. Well, I've got goblins. I got boys, and then I've got Azeg on foot because I know if he's on his wyvern, he's going to get just shot to pieces. But on foot, he's got a lot of melee defense, so he can fight off assassins easily, and a lot of melee attack.
Yeah, he gets a lot of melee attack. 36 melee defense is actually kind of small for a single entity, but he does get his buff that he can give to people. Extra 24.
Then I've got 3 units of Biggins who can just chew through whatever units they run into after the boys have gotten their way through them. And finally, just some archers with 2 units of Boar Boys with the ROR Wolf Riders, which have fear. And finally, a Shaman on...
Shaman on his ball with a Brainbuster and an Edbutt. Also got the 8 pig loonies here. They're pretty good because they're unbreakable. Usually, when you make a unit unbreakable, it gets pretty good.
Yes. And I think I used their little chain thing, I think once, and I...
Oh, their chain thing can... it's alright, I'll take it from here. Chain thing can definitely be very good against Stormvermin, or Council Guard in this case. Looking on the Skaven side of things, Deathmaster Snitch, very good Assassin Lord, can do very well against pretty much any Skaven Lord, Greenskin Lord. Skarsnik Azag would definitely be in trouble against him. Grimgore would definitely be in trouble against him. Just all around pretty good Assassin Lord, and then you can pair him with another Assassin, which is here, together with the Weeping Blades from Deathmaster Snitch. That makes a powerful combo. That and the Smoke Bombs make them really sneaky, as they can sneak up on you and kill your Lord when you're not looking. In the back, he has Poison Wind Globadiers, because trying to win the frontline fight through just sheer infantry isn't going to work. So you need to throw in the Skaven Slaves so they die, and then the Poison Wind Globadiers do all the damage. In the back, got some Storm Vermin as well. 3 Storm Vermin, one of which is the Council Guard to guard things. Really, only the Council Guard will probably see much work here. The other 2 I can see not getting much done, especially with the only 2 large or 3 large units here in the back. Wolf Rats as well in the back, very good at catching greenskin cavalry. You don't need the magical or armor piercing really damage, so he's just gone with the poison version.
But you see
and some
the
spears.
current predicament that I face in the fact that he's kind of effectively up against the wall,
Yeah, he's hammed himself in against this corner here, so
making
that
it very
he can only get attacked from one direction. He's also trying to make sure he can get his warp lightning cannon up in this hill, because at this point it's not going to be able to do anything until the enemy is right here, which is way too close for it to be really effective. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. How this runs through.
Probably if we had a flatter map, I might have had a better chance of winning as well.
Yeah, don't play on this map. Ever.
It's especially if you have to walk up a steep hill.
Like, it doesn't matter if you both rush factions, like if you're covering like vampire counts versus vampire counts, but in this situation it matters. You end up just setting up in an awkward position like this.
Yeah, and then there's no real good way of me flanking around that easily.
Even with his warp lightning cannon like all the way up in the hill here, he's probably still not got a great line of fire on things. You did also forget to mention he does have a Plague Priest on his bell, which acts as a good mortar sentinel effect, another way to whittle down that greenskin infantry whilst the Skaven slaves take all the damage. Also got 2 summons as well.
Let's see. Probably speed up it until they reach, so.
Until they reach the front lines.
Yes.
They are on the approach here. It's basically just an old walk up. He's got these warp lightning cannons taking some shots now at the ball boys. That is their ideal target, as you can see they penetrate through all those models and doing a fair decent amount of damage to them. Here, this is just the battle of the chaff. Probably not worth throwing Globadiers into this situation. The Skaven slaves will hold out long enough against goblins. Of course, you want to throw into these 8 piglins. Yeah, but they'll hold out enough that you want to wait until the boy is getting a bit closer for your wasting your front line too much. Spirit Leech on the Plague Priest, though we can see the loonies going out on Skaven slaves. Oh, Wolf Rats mainly is what's hitting there, actually. But the loonies have taken a ton of damage at this point already. Definitely, whoever killing them is worth it. These Globadiers got a bit too close to the front line there. They should have moved back a bit.
Oh yeah, a headbutt that caught them. So they
headbutt did it, knocked them over. A Plague Monk summon here just to try and buffer the flanks to help a little bit.
Also, I think. He threw Snitch at the Orc War Boss.
Oh yeah, down here you've got Snitch and the Assassin going after the War Boss, although Azag is able to just hit freely at this point, because nothing's going after him, they're just focusing on the Black Orc Big Boss. Azag's buff coming pretty in handy here, definitely helping a lot with some of those stats.
If I used Soul Siphon here, I would have 100% killed Snitch. And
probably, yeah. Snitch popping his little vortex spell to clear off some of these Orc boys that are on him. Although when Snitch is this low on health, his hits start to do a lot of damage, although he is routing. So, you'll notice here, while meter's full, probably should be pressing that button sometime soon.
Yep. If I pressed the wall button here, probably would have won the battle right now. Because I had everything engaged. I had units in the Globadiers fighting. And here comes the Marauders.
Yeah, get these wolves after the Globadiers to stop them from throwing, although these ones will probably start throwing. Oh, the War's here now. The War is here.
The wall finally popped.
The War's finally got here, took its time. Snitch is shattered at this point, so he won't be able to come back despite damage potential.
The problem with the fact that his back is pretty much up against a wall, he can just put his Storm Vermin in the way of everything.
Yeah, so you see these really good Globadiers going into all the greenskin infantry. Although Storm Vermin taking a bit of that hit, but again, those halberds not really doing much. It's only really the counter guard they're going to get much done, I'd imagine. The Bell doing work. Of course, that's where the Bell should be doing, fighting infantry, even if it is like big guns, it's still pretty better than nothing. Because of that mortar engine effect that it can achieve in blobs.
Wow.
Some good warp lightning shots going in.
Quality dropped like crazy for me, but
Did it?
I think that's just me.
Let me close down some tabs.
Most of my tabs are closed, so.
I'm closing some. See how that goes.
Alright, it fixed itself.
Cool.
But yeah, trying to chase down those guys there because the actual storm room got broken.
These warp lightning cannon doing surprisingly well despite the bad angles it's been getting. It's been hitting its target more often than not. Azag a bit surrounded by Council Guard, not really where he wants to be. That's not his role. He's more of a supportive assassin lord or anything.
Well, actually, he's got like over 50 melee defense.
Not when his ability isn't popped. He only gets 36 at this point, so the Council Guard actually put the fair bit of hurt on him.
He's not on his Wyvern. It's only
no, on foot he gets 36. 36 on foot as well. It's when his abilities pop that he gets an extra 24, so he goes up to 60. At the moment he is on 36.
I think I use a headbutt here.
Yeah, headbutt there to free him up a little bit so he can get out of that.
Yep.
What button is gone. Ooh, here we go, Azag popping his Azag's hard armor, so here he's now up to 70-60, which is really good stats, and 100 armor as well for Azag, so he'd be a lot better off there, but he's mainly using this here to support the Orc boys, but it looks like they're going to be routing in a minute, especially with this Globadier fire coming in.
Yeah, this is just not great for me, because no matter where I attack, the Storm Vermin are kind of in the way.
Yeah, the Council Guard do get in the way because they just won't run.
Yeah.
They'll fight forever.
But also, again, if I popped my wall earlier, might have changed the battle. If I killed Snitch especially, did Snitch even run off the battle?
I don't know, he definitely shattered. The Assassin's also shattered. Yeah, he shattered.
Okay.
The Council Guard do a good shot for the archers though, which is nice because of their lack of a shield.
And the army actually managed to keep its morale up.
Yeah.
Like, whenever that happens to me, my army just shatters with this much amount of units still alive every time. I don't know.
To be fair, a lot of the units left, like all the low leadership units, like the Clan Rats and the Skaven Slaves are gone. It's only like the leadership and the Storm Vermin and the
I've had times where I've had like 3 units of Storm Vermin and they just shatter.
Just run.
It's like,
well, there's a Council Guard. So
yeah.
It could be helping. It could also be because the value of the army losses isn't hitting too much. Some globes into those. Some really good shots to those poor Goblin archers. Yeah, at this point everything's just taking a lot of damage. The only thing that's really healthy on the greenskin roster is the Orc Shaman, and he's getting stuck in melee now, which is not where he wants to be. And we're also over here got one unit of Clan Rats chasing off a fair amount of greenskin infantry. Especially when the army is this full, if all of this could rally, it could put some serious damage on Storm Vermin. But that is that is it.
It's going to shatter now.
Yeah, that is it for army losses.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a mixture of like is being up against a wall, so there was only one real way because
because Skaven stuff were getting overwhelmed. So if have fun that a bit in can be helpful.
If it was an actual proper map that was actually not Altar of Ultimate Darkness, I probably would have won because Lycus effectively was in a corner.
Oh yeah, you can see some really good values here from the Council Guard and this Globadier, as well as the Warp Lightning Cannon. Really shining in those 3 departments, carrying the game.
Yeah, but again, it's ended up sort of in his favor a lot of the time.
Next one is Coast and Counts replay. Ooh, interesting. Let's take a look here. I
believe this one was from Stormrunner.
Stormrunner sending it in. Thank you to Stormrunner for sending in a replay. I am intrigued to see it. This is some interesting armies, I gotta say.
Yes, I thought it was very interesting, and it gives you something to chew on, to talk about both armies.
Yeah, I'll chew on this.
Really bad. Yeah.
One Cast Iron Lord can be good because
I mean, I'll get a replay, but after watching it, it was just really depressing because it was like 3 Terror Geists just mass breathing him.
Terror Geists.
Yeah. It was just. Oh no, it was Manfred on a dragon and 2 Terror Geists.
Oh,
like,
better.
Yeah, and it's just really depressing to watch because he immediately breathed down all of his javelins, and then just killed off everything else. But if I were to change something in my build, I'd probably get rid of the archers and just bring a unit of Black Orcs who could shoot through the Storm Vermin very easily.
Well, I don't know the Globadiers, I had their fun with them, so. Just depending, if you do need something to get rid of those Globadiers, maybe some pump wagons or something.
Because the Storm Vermin actually got a lot of value because they were fighting the Biggins last. So it was less the Globadiers, because the Globadiers, most of their value I think came from the Goblins and Orc boys.
Right.
The Biggins died to them because they didn't have the armor piercing to kill them, and they did not have the and they had armor, and also Biggins have super low melee defense, so halberds can actually hit them. It's kind of like it is interesting. It was an interesting matchup, but Black Orcs would have won if
would have helped out a lot with against the Storm Vermin, yeah. But looking at this Vampire Count army, I have to say there's some components I like quite a lot against Coast, and some components don't like so much. starting off with the things I do like. Feasters in the Dusk, pretty good here at flanking behind the Vampire Coast roster. Quite helpful because of their stalk and the fact they can Vanguard deploy. They can really catch some Vampire Coast players off with all those vulnerable units. That pretty much every infantry unit in the Vampire Coast roster will die to those really nicely because none of them have armor.
And on top of that, most of the cannons in the Vampire Coast will just evaporate
disintegrate as soon as they come in contact. Yeah.
Yeah, if any infantry fights them for more than 5 seconds.
A zombie front line as well. Pretty good because of you're going to expect that sort of bomber play that we're going to see here with the Vampire Coast front line. So having just a really terrible front line to match the really terrible front line here usually is how it goes. The flying tools here, a Terrorgeist plus the Dragon might be a bit overkill in terms of anti-large tools. At this point, they're just a really good target for guns. Of course, he has 2 Terrorgeists here, but even then,
and 2 Felbats.
If you, when it comes to Vampire Coast large units, the only things you need to worry about is like Luther Harkin or a Necrofex. And the nice choice here is he has the Von Carstein Lord, which means he gets Tempest, so he's already got Luther Harkin pretty much destroyed with this. Tempest is a really good counter to pretty much any flying lord. Tempest, like Storm of the Night, is a Tempest ability because it's exactly the same as Tempest. They're really good at damaging flying lords or heroes or any sort of large monsters. So they should work quite well against these 2 Terrorgeists. The Black Coach, pretty good for running through lines and disrupting infantry, but again, another target for guns. But you don't usually expect 2 gunnery wights will we'll probably chew right through them, but we'll have a look at that roster in a minute. The gun line is something you have to worry about with the Vampire Coast roster, but usually the Vampire Coasts have to be a bit unorthodox to count these days.
There's a lot of bombers in that army too.
Yeah, 3 bombers. 3, I believe. 3.
Oh.
Also, keeping the Sturdsman in the woods here is a pretty smart play in case he has cannons or anything, because these are the prime target probably for any mortars or just any
you don't
Queen
want to
Bess.
lose your regeneration cap.
Yeah, and also having them sort of off to the side here can prove to be a bit secretive as a little play. Black Knight as well, working pretty good against the almost entirely infantry-based roster of the Vampire Coast.
Because here's the thing, the deckhand polearms are like Skaven slaves with spears. They're not very good at stopping cavalry.
No, but they're more of like a deterrent more than anything else.
Yeah,
Felbats pretty good at tying down flying all that ranged unit of the Vampire Count roster. Vargals can do surprisingly well against like Necrofexes and those sort of ranged units that don't die immediately. Gunnery Wights as well, they could prove well against because they're armor piercing. I think they do quite well against Rotting Prometheans as long as they sort of keep a sort of.
They're armor piercing.
Yeah, they're armor piercing that they've got.
Either I think they need to get healed or they need to be buffed to do some serious damage. They need a little push.
As for the Vampire Coast roster, we have 2 Terrorgeists. A very interesting choice. Then we see something like this on the Vampire Coast roster. But when you're playing as the Vampire Coast against Vampire Counts, you really need to try some unorthodox things because the usual gun line doesn't work too well against them because of the bats, the zombie summons, etc. So you really need to try some crazy tactics.
Entirely based around just running at you.
So he's gone with a box formation here with just a core of 2 gunnery wights as well as zombie deckhand with bombers. They obviously do really good damage against all the Vampire Count chaff. His lord is a fleet admiral of vampires on a crab. He's got the triple crab here. And that is really it for the Vampire Coast roster. It is just a solid sort of box formation with a core of bombers in the middle. And we shall see how this goes then. One recommendation I might make for the Vampire Count army is that Vampire Coast do very much struggle to do magic damage, so some Hexface or a Banshee could have turned out quite well instead of the Black Coach maybe. Having some Hexface definitely could have proved to be really useful, especially because of the fire damage they do.
Especially also the gun line could be dangerous for a Black Coach.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, because there's a bit too much zombies for the Black Coach to go straight through them sometimes. So if they get caught up once, they're dead. Especially these 2 gunnery wights should have a field day with them as well. If they don't shoot the Terrorgeist all the time. Oh, they're shooting Vargals right now. Vargeists even.
Vargeists.
I think the bat is serving as a pretty good buffer here, sort of like mixing in the zombies, but it's a flying version.
Yeah, they kind of take some of the shots.
Yeah, Tempest there. Only catching one of the Terrorgeists, unfortunately. Should have tried to get both in the same position, but doing some good damage nonetheless. Throwing the bats right into the front line here when the bombers are in range probably would have been better off just going straight into the bombers.
I guess the only bright side is that he made him blow up his own units.
Yeah, I guess he did, but again, that's the zombies, so you really want to get those fell bats into. And also, if you can, try and time that with when the rest of your front line shows up so that the bombers are tied up while your front line is engaging their front line.
as you see, the opponent is not committing the other Terrorgeist.
No, now he's engaging it. But in this situation, it probably could have been a better idea to wait to use the Tempest until now, because now he would have been guaranteed to get both in one, and they would have really suffered in terms of ability.
Are the bombers able to just eat the bombs right up? They should.
I don't think they can throw it with flying units now. I don't think any Grenadier units can fly it.
No, Globadiers can.
Globadiers? I'm not sure. Yeah. But even then, I don't think they do damage against the bats, but that's about it. We're going to do it. Summoning a gun unit here to shoot up and give some support to the Terrorgeist. Firing into the back of the Golden Cast Iron Lord here. Although he is countering his summon with another summon. Disrupting a summon with a summon. The Sturmsman here could definitely chew through the infantry if it gets over here. Black Coach is going through trying to get into those bombers as much.
Yeah.
Here it's getting into that ideal situation.
This is a bit of a wide flank for the Stern Guard, but it's okay.
Yeah, they're going to take their time. You really want to get them in as soon as possible so they can make full use of their regeneration, but
yeah,
they're taking the time. Oh, a Scab's Grace. That's why he's got, obviously, both these Gunnery Whites have Scab's Grace on them. Pretty good at clearing through Vampire Camp.
I didn't know that they had...
they can get Scab's Grace, yeah.
They can break those, yeah.
So it works pretty well. Although he already has the bombers for clearing through chaff, so he's really focused a lot on clearing the chaff with this. Yeah. Doesn't have that much anti-large, all things considered, apart from the two Terrorgeists. But it should be noted that Vampire Coast Terrorgeists don't actually have anti-large, unlike the Vampire Camp ones. They do. Not sure why, but they don't.
He is killing the Lord, and also I feel like the gunnery are the gunnery Whites actually shooting at them.
Yeah, it looks like they're shooting up. Yeah, I think they've been shooting at the Lord this whole time, if I were to guess.
Yeah. Like, if he had maybe like a unit of like just basic handgunners shooting up, he probably would win this air engagement right now. Or
even just like bringing a cheap unit of like these gunnery mob would have been fine as well. It's only 300.
I'm pretty sure bombers should be able to attack air units because Globadiers can. If Globadiers can, they can too.
That's something we'll check. That's something we cover the Vampire Coast roster. At this point, Vampire Cast Iron Lord is going down. Yeah, they got destroyed. I think they just walked right into the bomber line of fire, especially when you've got these Black Knights here. They could have engaged in and disrupted.
Just watching.
Using the the Lord dies just as he gets the final Tempest off. I'm not sure whether that is going to mean the end for both Terrorgeists in the Vampire Coast roster.
Yep. And there goes all their
really, all that's left for the Vampire Coast is the Triple Crown.
There's also one more thing that he probably should have done is pulling a unit out to breath.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he used a single breath on either of his Terrorgeists.
He did not use a single breath yet.
Really big waste. I mean, he's used. Okay, we got the Vampire. You see how much damage that one breath from the Vampire Count's Terrorgeist did. Would have been really good if he had got both those breaths off on the Lord. He probably could have had the Lord dead a lot quicker, and then he could have turned his Terrorgeist to other things.
Or pulled it back and used the breath on one of the Terrorgeists to kill him faster and save his Lord from dying. So, you know, small things. Yeah,
the small little things that tend to add up. He tried to the Vampire Count Lord at this point, but Coast Lord even. Although he has surrounded himself in summons to lessen that to a degree.
And the Black Knights were watching for a little, and they're going in now on the bombers.
Yeah, this Necromancer doesn't have any spells. He's a pure buff at this point, but he's providing some good buffs. +5 for both stats, as well as regeneration of 6 HP points per second. So definitely a strong tool. Should try and shut that down, but because realistically, if Necromancer survives, he's just going to win through attrition. Because crabs do not have the damage potential to chew through faster than that regen.
Just imagine a Necromancer inside the Stern Guard. There's so much regeneration there.
I mean, just with the Black Knights, it works so well as well because of their armor.
Yeah, high armor, health. Psycho Sanchez says that he wants advice on making himself a better micro.
Better micro. That is difficult. To be honest, all I can recommend is like consistent practice. I think that's all we really. I don't think there's any like 1-2 trick when it comes to micro. And like the army building and stuff that you can sort of look at quite easily from other people's opinions.
Just gotta keep at it.
Yeah. Just like establishing sort of muscle memory sort of thing.
Yeah.
Some people are quicker at getting it than others, which is a shame. Oh yeah, at this point Vampire Coast Lord is routing, which does mean he won't be able to cast any more healing. Which is definitely going to mean a surefire end if that Lord goes down, because these Gunnery Whites just won't have the damage output in order to chew through when the Necromancer's here.
And pulls out and probably comes back around for... Wow, that Terrorgeist went from no chevron to silver chevron.
Yeah, I feel like he's got some pretty good value. I have to look at the values at the end. I can see just all the flying things getting a lot of value in this situation. Although I feel like
Like,
the gunnery rides could
granted,
get pretty good. At this point, we can just fast forward. I don't think there's much
yeah,
chance
yeah.
of.
Well, there's no way he's winning at this point, so just fast forward through. You could probably double fast forward.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think there's anything particularly interesting that else that
Yeah,
happens.
no,
You
skip
just
it there. We drop the Scab's Grace at the end, that's it.
yeah, one defines Scab's Grace. Yeah, so
Some fairly decent value on the Lord there, even though he went down at the end. Can't really get much value on any of the infantry killing, seems to be just killing zombies.
Decent healing off.
But yeah, 4,300 value on that Terrorgeist. I think the Terrorgeist was doing a lot of the damage to the other Terrorgeists while the Lord was taking most of it. As well as the best he got off in the end as well. So very good.
The Coast player probably focused the other Terrorgeist, because the Terrorgeist actually is any large, the Dragon is not.
Yeah, Terrorgeist also has quite low morale, so if you can get it going early, it'll start crumbling for the whole time.
Yeah, it's going to die sooner than the Vampire Lord ever will.
Although you do also want to get the Vampire Lord down, so it's about trying to micro both of them.
Well,
You really want to try and establish their superiority.
It's a weird scenario of like, well, what one do you choose? Because the Terrorgeist actually does, the Terrorgeist on its own has fairly low armor in comparison to the Dragon, and also way lower melee defense, unlike the Vampire Lord.
Yeah, the Vampire Lord and the Dragon. Good value from the gunnery rights.
Ooh, 2,500.
Fairly decent on the bombers, considering they were just throwing at zombies. I think most of the damage there was just from the ghouls and the Sternsmen they managed to throw into.
That's okay. How much do bombers even cost usually?
400, I think.
400? Yeah, that's pretty good value.
Pretty good value there. Terrorgeist's not doing great. This one did okay, but I think this is the first one that fell down at the early on. So
again, probably if he attacked the one off Terrorgeist, you could probably break it, kill it, and even kill it through healing.
Yeah.
Because
it probably hits cap quite quickly.
And the fact is that it's anti-large just gives it such a big bonus. Oh yes, it's this one. Yes, it's I think I remember this one. This is a
Chaos versus Skaven.
Yes.
Do I see what's wrong?
Yes.
You have Chaos Knights with lances.
Yes, I do.
There's also a lot of Skaven slave on the right side there.
Yeah. A lesson to why never bring Skaven slaves as your front line.
I imagine they get run over quite quickly.
Yeah.
Chaos do excel at chewing through chaff.
And the fact that all their knights have fear.
Yeah, there's nothing really here in the Skaven roster that I can see that's going to be able to punish your knights too much apart from the counter guard. That's about it.
Yeah.
Everything else here would lose.
Yeah, also the Exalted Heroes on foot with the Marauders. So
they're on foot, so they can buff up morale and stuff.
Yeah, and then the 3 Chaos Spawn, because, well, the rats
don't
really have super... Well, they don't really have super great way of dealing with the Chaos Spawn.
No, not too much.
Unbreakable.
Besides shooting them with the rattling gun, but then it's sort of a waste of the armor piece.
Yeah, I threw this army together because I noticed like a lot of Skaven players nowadays are like just bringing shitloads of slaves and banking on that to keep
just throw more slave
alive.
At the enemy until
and it's like, well, I'm gonna immediately and brutally punish that because the Skaven slaves can mass route from.
Yeah, Chaos do excel at chewing through Skaven slaves quite well.
Yeah, either chewing through or.
So just going through your army again.
Hello, catch a breath. Yes.
What you got here?
Well, I've got 3 Marauders in front of 3 Chaos Spawn to pretty much take any shots for the Chaos Spawn. 2 units of Chaos Knights with Lances with the Swords of Chaos and Archaon. And I also got the Word Spawn because 15% physical resist is better than none at all.
Also, Armor Sundering will pretty much get rid of any Skaven armor that there is. I don't think Skaven slaves have any armor. But I think Clan Knights would have done, but in this situation there is no Clan Knights. Also, we'll get rare because that drops their armor against to 0.
Yeah, it drops to 30.
So Wolf Rats drop them to 0s, although they're only at 15 to begin with. So.
Yeah. But this is what I guess. If you want to, my armor's pretty straightforward.
No, of course you've got your Slayer of Kings, of course, on Archaon to smash a rat.
Yes, 4 spells, of course. Fireball, Cascading Cloak of Flames, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Burning Skull.
Head. Burning Head, whatever.
Burning Head. Then Exalted Hero with
his Mark of Khorne. That's all you really need on the Exalted Hero. Obviously, gives him the frenzy pretty much, so he's up to 73 melee attack. Very nice.
Generally keeps the Marauders in line and functions as kind of a pain in the ass. If
and
you have
a good anchor point.
Chaos Spawn.
Yeah, good anchor point there.
Yeah, I found that he makes this build a lot better when it comes to keeping the infantry together.
Looking at the Skaven, also Lycus is here. Hi Lycus. Skaven build.
I like
Hi,
this.
you can finally start. I'm here.
Yeah, sure. Skaven slaves. As far as the eye can see, it's lots of Skaven slaves, along with wolf rats with poisonous, 2 Giselles and a rattling gun in the center, a Glacier of Plague on his bell, with his classic summon of Vermintide and the Plague Vortex. Also has 2 units of Rat Ogres and the Council Guard. A pretty weak front line. Like the Skaven slave front line does not work awfully well against Chaos, in my opinion. I don't know, like us say.
Gonna get run over from.
What would you recommend as a front line against Skaven? Against Chaos as Skaven? What was your game plan against Chaos as Skaven, like us?
You can go with Skaven slaves as a front line. I would just also the stream is just lagging at the moment for me. The problem is you need something spear heavy to catch the impact of the chaos spawns. So I would normally run some Skaven slave spears and
Skaven slaves don't have a defense against large.
not Skaven slaves, normal clan rat spears.
Yeah, clan rats.
But they have they do a bit more damage, just a bit.
Yeah. But
and then some slingers, really cheap 3 Skaven slave slingers, or maybe even higher level slingers, because they
Night
do
Runners.
with the Skaven with the chaos spawn.
Would you recommend Globadiers?
I think Globadiers are fine. I think the Giselles don't do damage fast enough to the spawn because they're unbreakable. The Giselles are not gonna bring them off, which is why I switched to more just pure slingers.
I believe he starts focusing down Archaon right away.
Yeah, that would be the target to go for, in my opinion, if not just the Swords of Chaos.
That's probably the best.
The funny thing about Chaos Spawn, though, is because they're stupidly high damage and big AoE attacks, they tend to just munch through
lightly armored stuff like this. Yeah, they'll munch through.
Yeah, the clan rat spears would do better, but they don't normally you just kill them by throwing javelins or shurikens or whatever at them.
Yeah, it's pretty much
hold them in
trying
place
to hold
while you
them
throw
as
stuff at them.
long as possible. But again, that's why the Marauders are there to support them, to act as a buffer.
I would definitely cut the rattling guns because I don't think Chaos is going to go for a Shaggoth in this.
No. There's no.
The Archer Fire is not going to be good. Also, what's fun is against Chaos is bringing 1 more Fire Thrower.
Really?
Because it actually wrecks the Marauders.
The
Marauders are going to die.
Yeah, but still Globadiers. Fairly decent burning head, getting half the damage there on the counter.
Oh yeah, and it goes.
And then going into hit your Chaos Knights, but obviously won't do anything to those Chaos Knights.
With the just immediately broke and ran.
You can see how the impact from the Chaos Knights just instantly routes this stuff, and it's the infantry line isn't even here and the front line's gone. The Skaven front line's already disappeared, and the Marauders and the Chaos Spawn haven't even reached it yet. We did also have Gorage, got to mention.
I had before.
Gorage went crazy.
Good work. The triple Stoneburn and
it would be problematic, but Archaon could probably fight his way through or just use burning heads to kind of kill his way through it. Swords of Chaos aren't that bad against halberd units sometimes because they have such high melee defense. They can survive against lances.
How much they got there?
Sure, but
61, yeah. Pretty high there.
They're more than capable of taking on halberds. They just sit here and fight the halberds for a while, I think, and then I throw it.
Yeah, halberds get throwing a lot under the burning head there, hitting them. Pretty much 80% of the damage they've taken has just been from burning heads.
Yeah.
The rattling gunners are only starting to fire now, with their HP really low, and they've been engaging with the Swords of Chaos. So they're probably not going to get much value in this end. Some point blank Giselle firing to Chaos Spawn. Not looking overly great. The Rat Ogre's not really doing an awful lot in the situation. I think one of them's already gone.
Oh wait, yeah, I think the special Rat Ogre single unit, tries to fight Archaon at some point.
I think it's Gorage.
Oh, Gorage, yeah, it's Gorage.
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 And there's the lances over there just kind of running over some Skaven slaves.
These wids will of course dropping Gorage's armor down, so they do more damage to him at this point.
The Marauders broke, but I think that was because I actually burnt half of them with one of my burning heads.
Yeah, but you know,
Cure acting as the anchor.
Acceptable casualties.
Acceptable casualties.
A Skaven unit that's a must-have in this opinion is probably the Warp Grinder.
Wolfrider, yeah, take it to Chaos Wolfrider as well.
Just lock them down and then use the Dreaded 13 spell or the Plague spell or whatever.
Or just shoot them with whatever you're using. You can probably kill it. As if all you need to do is put it there for long enough.
I think, I just move all my infantry out chasing him for other things. The Source Chaos can just bounce between all the units and keep fear routing them.
Gorge getting involved, but Slave of Kings is activated, and considering Gorge has like 30 melee defense, he's going to get hit pretty much every time. He's going to do a huge amount of damage. Yeah, there he goes. Ouch.
Yeah, Archaon.
And he's dead. Looking at I've never actually seen his death animation. There he goes.
Let's see. Chaos Knights Lances got a charge in on a bunch of slaves in the back. They broke.
Yeah, these Chaos Knights excelling at just sort of pretty much keeping everything that did running, because there's none of this that is going to do anything to Chaos Knights.
Because the problem with especially the lances too, just a handful of them can do a lot of damage and
really
cause
quickly.
a rout for weak units. Like right there.
Yeah, just like there, that one there, just broken those. Just nothing here in the Skaven roster has the armor to deal with those Chaos Knights at this point.
Yeah, pretty much most of the damage from the Chaos Knights came from, I think, just the gunners. That's it. And maybe Gorage. Other than that, most of them just...
Yeah, just overall, those rattling guns just didn't manage to do anything. They got caught off way too soon. Yeah, everything in the Skaven roster just didn't really get a chance to do anything. Because how quick it was.
Got some, just overrun.
All the Chaos Knights units got into those expensive ranged units, so they got a lot of value. Weirdsporn was fighting Gorage, did some good damage to that. Of course, Archaon's pretty much entirely from Gorage, I'd imagine. That's all he managed to hit.
Well, he killed Gorage and burned down like
the burning heads as well,
three quarters of the Council Guard.
Probably more than that, to be honest. 80%.
Yeah, the Marauders did okay too. Like, the Marauders actually are an okay pick against Skaven because they're actually pretty reliable.
Yeah, they're surprisingly cheap, so if they get Globadiers, you don't really care too much, and they still chew through most Skaven infantry nicely.
In some cases, you could bring, maybe if you wanted a longer front line to challenge the Skaven, you could bring like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, just really go.
They actually have like 60 morale, so they're actually pretty good.
Halfway decent.
Yeah.
Even better if you're Norska.
Yes, even better.
Who knows? Maybe Warriors of Chaos will get something special about theirs someday. Maybe. Who knows? Doubt it, but who knows?
Yeah. All right.
This one seems out of date, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Don't worry.
Vampire Council versus Skaven.
Yes. This one was it was an interesting battle.
Sure looks like. There's no caster. And there's Helmut Gorst.
I was like, Helmut Gorst and no caster. This will be fun.
This will be.
Vampire caster.
He has a vampire.
Randy has a vampire hero. Oh no.
Of shadows.
See, I looked at the armies and I was like, this almost looks promising. And then I looked at the Lord kits and I was like, this isn't promising in the slightest.
Oh god, more of yeah.
Well, this is. Yeah, okay, let's go through this. Skaven roster. Okay, this is something you don't do. You don't bring a Plague Monk front line and then bring Globadiers, because you're going to murder your own Plague Monks, and that's a really expensive front line to murder.
Like,
you should really put these spears in the front first, and then bring the Plague Monks in later.
Or, hell, just drop one of the spears and then bring 3 units of Skaven slaves to act as that buffer.
Yeah, as that buffer, and then have the Skaven slave have like the Plague Monks behind the Globadiers, let the Skaven slaves die and take the damage, and then if they break, you can still win the Plague Monks.
If anyone remembers from the Empire one, where I would have Flagellants behind the handgunners, that's generally what you would want to do. Where if they reach the Globadiers, you throw the Plague Monks into them.
Logic just wants to say that's after the fact.
No, after the fact. Yeah, I'm sure. I really hope you didn't premeditate bringing no caster.
I mean, Plague Monks. He meant the Plague Monks and the nuking.
The Plague Monks. We haven't even got to the no caster
can be
part.
brought against counts because.
Like, absolutely. But this is not a good situation to be in. This is the whole Globadier throwing into expensive Plague Monks is not ideal. Especially Blight Scab. Like, I swear, if he throws into Blight Scabs, I'm gonna throw something. He also has a strange combination here of Deathmaster, Snitch, and Chieftain, which is something. It would have been nice to pair with a caster so he can make full advantage of that physical resistance buff. Yeah, he also has Skaven Brew, which is if you pair that on Snitch, I mean, he's going to make him immune psychology.
Put that on, you can.
So it could make him quite crazy against a dragon. Also, you expect to crush the rat, and then the rat stabs you and takes your legs off.
I think he has the -5 melee attack on all units around him, so he can actually keep Snitch alive and is anti-large. So
yeah, that definitely does help. if we take a more of a closer, tight-knit formation, because that's really what you want to do against vampire counts, because they really don't have anything to punish you for doing that. Just take a really tight. Well, actually, he does have that guy, but you should be able to just shoot that guy with these guys. 2 rat ogres, one of which being the ROR pit fighters. They're gonna die. I can already tell. Has he got blood knights? If so, they're dead. Yeah, he's got blood knights. They're dead. Okay. In the back line, he's got clan rat spears, which of course covering those ranged units. You kind of need to put something in the back in this case, but I think it's more likely they're just going to get swamped by bats at this point.
I guess we should probably point out, if you're going to bring rat ogres against vampires, you're pretty much sticking them with your spears and never leaving the box.
More or less.
They're only there to act as a blobbing unit to block cavalry or wolves.
Yeah, so the ranged unit's going to do something.
Yeah,
but the problem is that the bat
rat ogres defensively.
The problem is the bat exists, so the bats can just land.
Bad logic points out, I don't play Skaven. I also don't play traditional Skaven, so my builds will be more likely not really be good.
Yeah, I guess it is pretty unconditional to not bring a caster.
There are no excuses.
Something crazy. Yeah, get him like this.
And he also doesn't play boxes. Well,
don't play boxes. Well, you shouldn't have played against this matchup then, because it's the only way Skaven win it. Or if something or if they do something like this. If the vampire count player does something like this, then maybe you've got a chance actually. So looking at the vampire count roster, you got 2 direwolves, as well as Verix Reavers, and 2 blood knights. That mobile kit will do really well against Skaven. Wolves, you just want to get into those globadiers or those rattling guns as soon as possible. They're also really good at chasing off units. Pretty much the same thing for Verix Reavers. Verix Reavers will have a field day with plague monks because they'll just run through them and then cycle charge. Blood knights, same thing. They'll just cycle charge and destroy them. Crypt Ghoul front line works fairly well against Skaven because it's chewing through chaff. That's what you want to do as quickly as possible. They also don't have the highest HP pool, so it's not super efficient for Globadiers to be used. Has Helm and Ghost. Yeah, he's got Helm and Ghost. It also has this is Death, this isn't Shadows. Wait, why does he have so many spells?
Shadows.
Why does he have?
But Helming Ghost on his corpse card actually does have a ton of regeneration.
Yeah, a lot of regeneration. The only problem is he's a really nice target. Although there could definitely be something to it.
Take Giselles, so I think he's safe from Giselles.
Yeah, because you can't really take Giselles, like you said, in this matchup because bats exist. So if he can keep him alive, there's definitely, especially if there's a box formation from Skaven, that could be quite a solid counter to that. So there's a possibility.
Yeah, cheap bot engine.
Although the fact that he has got the Liber Noctis, which again you're not going to be trying to put. Well, you want to try and put Helm and Ghost in combat so that you can trigger his melee effect. So the fact you're putting his health even lower is risky. He's of course got his buff. His Graveguard summon should work fairly well.
I guess the only bright side of it is the fact that he does have a lot of regeneration and he can heal himself and summon Graveguard.
Yeah, the summon of Graveguard's pretty good because if you take Graveguard as a front line against Skaven, they're just going to get destroyed by Globadiers or something. But being able to summon them into those ideal situations,
if you summon them on top of the Globadiers,
then they're pretty good. Yeah, you can't really do much about that then.
Actually, the Plague Monks can't do much about them either because they don't have the armor piercing necessary to kill them.
I think even Blight's Plague Plaque will shoulder them because they're anti-infantry, aren't they, Graveguard?
No. Graveguard are anti-infantry, but the thing is that the armor piercing and the far better stats will
they'll definitely put the hurt on
them
because they're not going to run at any point as well, so the discourage is going to work wonders.
Yeah, no, and they're frenzy, so they just will hit. They'll just chew through them really, really quickly. Yeah. That's all that'll happen. They'll take a bunch of damage. Yeah.
You'll notice the White King Scabscraith pretty good against Skaven because it will do really good damage against Plague Monks and the likes. So that'll work pretty recently. It also has a Vampire of Death with 3 spells for some reason. Yeah. Because you've already got all the magic spending in this situation. You're going to spend all your Winds of Magic just on the 2 summons and invocations. And I don't see an awful lot of use in death magic in this situation. Even the character itself.
The Lord?
No, even then it's
Spirit Leech is nice because less healing for Skaven. If you're going for Skrog, you can Spirit Leech him, but that would bring an extra.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bring just for that, especially not as expensive as a Vampire caster, who is really expensive relative to other ones. So yeah, an interesting choice there, but the rest of it looking quite nice. Let's see how this goes.
Helming Ghost has a speed of 23. Jesus, how?
Wheelbarrow.
He's got a little. He's sitting in his little mobility scooter,
molting around.
It's a car getting pulled by 4 guys.
4 zombies. Even full guys.
Yeah, zombies.
It's
Herman
real
Ghost
stuff.
in his mobility.
In fact, those zombies are looking a lot faster than the normal zombie. They're really trying their hardest, those ones.
They're just trying their hardest and all go.
They're going in strong. Now I really want to see. Oh, you see, this is an awkward. This is kind of a bit strange when you look at it. When you look back at it, he's sending the Blood Knights to the area where the anti-large is. He could just run into the front line.
Run right, yeah. That's one of the things that.
As long as you tie up the Globadiers with your bats, you can literally just run straight into the front line and just kill everything. Like one charge into the Blight Scout play pack, that will kill him. And certainly, he's putting him down to half health.
One of a common thing to do, a good thing for new players to do, is look at what your opponent has on their front. If they have a bunch of swordsmen, no spears, just run your cavalry through the center.
Look at where their anti-large tools are and go where they aren't. Ideally, if they're everywhere, then try and find gaps in the line or try and take them apart piece by piece. I guess tying up the rattling gunners so that Helm and Gorst doesn't get destroyed. Probably a better idea than going after the globes.
Oh god, Helm and Gorst.
Because that is the main threat. I mean, Snitch of course will destroy him as well, but the main threat is the rattling gunners to Helm and Gorst at this point. Summoning a Graveguard summon. It would be a better idea to summon them behind because Graveguard, obviously, they take a minute to get up usually, so you can usually just summon them behind and then have them charge. That works perfectly normally as well. Mortis Engine effect you can see triggering.
Ghost's effect, the Mortis Engine, summoning down, siphoning down the Blight Scabs, and I think 2 of the Rattling Gun, the Plague Monks, really perfect.
Because Plague Monks have quite low health as well as
oh yeah, Scab Strike on the Plague Monks.
Yeah, you see that did quite a fair bit of damage there.
But you can also see how the Plague Monks absolutely wrecked the Cryptghouls, even though they were siphoned down.
That's just a stat difference. Also, oh no, he is as well. He's throwing them into the Blight Scab Plague. He's throwing into a summoned Graveguard unit, and he's killing his Blight Scab Scrape. Why? You know, is he throwing them at Ghost as well? Why? These valuable units, they're so dead. They took so much damage from that. I mean, he's gonna get Ghost down in a minute, so that's nice. But these poor Blight Scabs.
Funny thing about that.
It's so sad. Look at them go. Oh, Rat Ogres are dead, by the way, because they're flying Blood Knights. As expected. Yeah, they die.
Again.
Oh, a nice Graveguard summon going down trying to defend Helm and Gorst.
Yeah, and now he's stuck inside of a Graveguard, which is kind of bad for Snitch, especially
if he gets surrounded. If he doesn't have his Vortex, at least. Which he does. He does have his Vortex, I think he's really good.
Actually,
he tried using it, but it didn't work.
Saika, Sanchez, we already have Norska. We already have the videos up on Woodland.
It should be up on Willow's YouTube channel. The pin should be in the
I think we might do another one for Norska and Greenskins because it was kind of half done. Like one of the times the recording bugged out and the first session wasn't even recorded, so we might need to redo those too.
Yeah, we might. Probably after we.
Oh no! The ideal situation for them. His speed is getting dropped because of suppression, although Manet's really not getting dropped by much. I don't know how you suppress somebody that's walking at a snail's pace already. He's not even going. He could go behind the cliff. Where's he going? Why is he staying in the line of fire? He's turning around. For God's sake. What's he doing? What's he doing? Where's he going? I mean, he's gonna. Oh, he's just a Scab Spray for Globadiers as well. They have too much armor for that to do anything. What is he? What? I mean, he could try and tie them up. He's got units back here to tie them up, but I mean, what is he? Why is?
Meanwhile, Bullet's losing his brain still broken.
Yeah, Snitch actually got broken.
Yeah, Snitch is running one way, Helm and Gorst running the other way.
And then there's two heroes
Meanwhile,
running over.
Line of rattling guns firing in the background.
Oh, and the Knights coming in, saving Ghost.
No, the Knights saving the day, but they're being a perfect target for Globadiers now. This is acceptable, because that unit's already dead, so throwing globes into it isn't too much of a problem for me.
Yeah.
Also, it's a really good target. Go on, throw! It's sometimes a good idea to try and keep a box formation with your ranged units, because otherwise they seem to take a really long time to fire, like that. They could have fired 2 volleys had they been in a box, a sort of closer formation. And they're dead now.
Yeah.
So it's the rest of the Skaven army.
That was not raised. Problem is, if you use like a really slow-moving caster, like Helm and Gorst or a Necromancer on a Corpse Guard, and you want to heal your units with that, he's gonna take ages to get anywhere to get the invocation off. Like, I think he couldn't heal the Blood Knights simply because he was out of range.
And when the Vampire Count roster's main strength is in like cavalry, he can't be there to assist them in the slightest.
And like if you're using like Count Herman Gorst, you probably want Graveguard as your front line.
Not against Skaven though, but
not against Skaven, but generally if you're bringing Herman Gorst, you would want to bring.
You want to maximize that frontline engagement fight. But yeah, Blood Knights. This is obviously the Blood Knight unit that was killing the Red Ogres. I don't know what this one was doing. This one was killing Globadiers, which was nice.
Yeah. The Crypt Ghouls fought Plague Monks, so they fought the unit they want to fight effectively.
Yeah. Well, Clan Rats would be better.
One had Scabskrake, and the other had Globadiers.
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there's some value missing, and then I remembered that he nuked his own units, so that's probably where some of the value went. Does this value counted? Because I feel like there could count Blight Scab Plague Crown.
It doesn't.
I always forget if it's counted.
Allied units.
No, it's a shame because it'd be like 2,000 by now if it did count allied units.
It counts friendly fire, but not summoned units.
Ah, it's a shame. Oh, it doesn't even count summoned units. So
I think it
doesn't count
for friendly fire. Because I did it once in a 2v2 and it counted the value I did to, I think, Inca probably.
Huh.
Yeah, but I mean your own units, not your allied units.
Well, yeah, that was a disgusting game, so let's see. Hopefully the next one's better, eh?
Yeah,
what is the next one?
Don't worry, only quality replays here.
Logic again.
Yeah, but this one is a bit more useful because in the previous match, he completely flattened my ass because I tried to bring a regular army.
Didn't bring more good. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Next replay.
Isn't that Morgur?
Nope, that's Malagor.
No, that's Malagor.
Malagor, okay.
Although to be fair, maybe there's something about Malagor. Maybe the fact that he debuffed leadership thing. There could be something there.
Yeah.
I think it's still better having 2 Chaos Spawn because Chaos Spawn.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, it's way better. Who am I kidding? But you don't need a Cygor summon against Skaven.
I mean, Cygor summoning Terror against Skaven
is
probably nice, and you would probably go for double Cygor to bomb him with rocks.
Yeah,
but,
or you go with Manacross.
So I decided that.
These are some interesting builds. But Skaven roster, go ahead, Psycho.
Okay, so I brought a bunch of clan rats with silver chevrons, a unit of spears all the way in the front to die, and I brought Skrulk plus 2 chieftains because -10 melee attack is great, and also it functions as a massive counter to Gorbals.
Because he's got the -5 melee attack from Skrulk and one from one of the chieftains. The second chieftain's just kind of there.
And also they both have anti-large and armor piercing, and then behind them is plague monks, and then storm vermin, and then what I do is I keep the plague pack with the heroes to pretty much make it so he can't terror route with any big monsters, so the hero core stays together.
So it doesn't run, because all of this is of course not immune to psychology. Actually, no, Skrulk is. Skrulk's immune to psychology.
He is? Well, he is.
He is. Yeah, he's not even getting buffed.
Also, the other thing is that the chieftains are also given the 15% guardian bonus.
No, one of them is.
Yeah.
Because that would be illegal. Actually, if they fixed that yet, they must have fixed that by now.
I hope they fixed it. But yeah, it works pretty well being able to summon units, use plague, and
yeah, plague monks and storm vermin work pretty well against beastmen because they can't kill them too much.
Yeah, because in a lot of cases, beastmen are kind of sort of not great matchup for Skaven because you can't play normally because the Ungors can just wipe out guys really, really quickly, and they're fairly inexpensive, so they'll just have a lot of units.
Looking at the Beastman roster real quick before it gets here because it's really storming in. You've got 2 Gore Herds, 4 Gore Herds. Gore Herds, I believe... Who wins there? Gore Herds or Plague Monks? I think Gore Herds.
Gore Herds, because they get the Bestial thing.
Yeah, they get the Beast and they just have a bit more HP bonus as well. Some Ungor Raiders in the back, they'll also do pretty good against Plague Monks there, so those 2 flanks doing well. An interesting deployment here. Maybe good. I can't really make up my mind yet. He's got 3 units of Razor Gores in the back. Razor Gore Chariot as well.
Razor Gores were a real pain to get rid of.
Yeah, these I mean 2 Gorbles as well. These will just stomp. These units will just run through Skaven lines pretty easily. I think there's not much to stop them.
Without something like
I think maybe against Beastmen you bring like you bring Warp Grinders as well. You sort of just try and stick them in place and then you throw some Plague Monks on them, just try and maximise that damage.
Yeah, pretty much. You're just trying to out-damage them.
Are these 2 fully itemed up Gorbles? My god, those are explosive.
Stormvermin says they haven't fixed it yet, the
double
Guardian thing.
Still haven't. Amazing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fixed at Warhammer.
Yeah, Warhammer 3, don't worry guys, when we rework the Guardian ability to make it terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are 2 fully itemed Gorbles. These must be really expensive. My god.
Yeah.
And considering that there's no large on this side, it'll be interesting to see how he makes use of that. He also has Malagor.
Well, the thing with the Gorbles is that they actually have so much mass, and they
can just run through things like chariots, more or less.
Good. They can just Yeah, they could just charge straight through and
Should
get
also
to
be
all
noted
the juicy.
that Skrulk has
range
his both his items as well as a plague monk, so another more plague monks to summon as well as a vermintide summon and dropping armor.
Yeah.
Not that Beastmen have that much armor, but you know, like Razor Gores will be dropped from 45 to 15. So it's something.
Yeah, against.
And there is a lack of
something.
AP really in the Skaven army to begin with, so you kind of need it. Anyway, this is probably going to be a quick battle because it usually is when Beastmen are involved, one way or the other.
Either one side wins with the other ones.
Yeah, they either
It's
run
good to
over
play
them or
more
they
than
get
one
run over.
faction. Yes, it's always good to be able to play more than one faction, catch your breath, because it allows you more variety.
Firing at the clan rats really wants to get those ungors firing at the plague monks as soon as possible, especially the Blight Pack. Those are like a perfect target for those ungors. Really wants to be firing to those
and
as quick as
I
possible.
bring the plague pack up immediately to pretty much protect the lords.
Water Corruption,
routes.
really only hitting the Razor Gores there because they won't do much to Chariots or the Gorbals in this situation. But the two Chieftains
I don't know
here,
why
should be
my
good counter.
chieftains
They only
were
got
like
into them.
standing really far
Yeah, they
away,
took a minute to get in. They're in there now. And
Well,
I believe,
together,
because the
actually,
Gorbals
one of
have the weapons which make them cause terror. Yes,
but
but
with
now
the
with the
plague
play pack there, that'll be countered quite nicely.
Yes.
By the way, that item's terrible. I wouldn't ever recommend bringing the Gorbal with the this item.
Maybe one of them with the terror.
Maybe
thing.
it's like if you want terror, just bring Manacle.
Okay, I guess.
Can
so.
you bring Manacles as Beastmen? I'm only thinking about it now.
No, you can only.
You can't.
No, you have to use a beast caster.
It's even in the lore of beasts, and they don't get a Manacle. Okay, Beastmen rework is coming soon. Don't worry. Be blessed.
Yeah, don't worry.
It'll get fixed soon.
But as you'll see, the Oracle's dying very quickly. To
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
chieftains.
two chieftains as well as probably a rod of corruption. I imagine you threw in him or something.
Yeah,
Also, Skrulk is taking a bit of damage himself.
he is, but he still gets that 50%.
Vile Tide would have been really nice on these Blight Scab, but instead he put it on Clan Rats. Really would have been nice to put right there, but he put on Clan Rats instead. In like the worst position of the Clan Rats as well.
The Blight Tide? What the hell did I use?
Blight Scab. Play pack.
Oh.
No, the
Oh, Vile
Tide
Tide. Wild
was
Tide, yeah, that was
used
from
for
Beastmen.
logic,
That was the
and
Beastmen
the spell
perspective.
was
Oh,
really
okay.
awesome against like clumped up units.
really
Yeah,
nice
I
I
guess
guess
against
we had one of Grace Queen, right?
The-
Grace
the
Queen,
other-
the AP version, and the Wild Tide, like one of the wind.
Oh yeah, I dropped like clan rats right into the middle. Just
Extra
to,
Clan Rats just to buffer things.
Yeah, but the other thing with the plague pack that you gotta also take note is that they have 82 leadership. They have a lot
Yeah,
of
they're
leadership
sticking
for a
around quite well.
Skaven unit.
These
Like,
Razor
you're-
Gores
I think
helping out
almost every
mix in
time
here.
they've been
Oh,
killed,
this is
they've
something.
always been killed down to the last man.
Oh, more Devolve being thrown here. To be honest, the AoE that's better against some guns, these would probably be more helpful in this situation than just throwing Vile Tides. Plague Monks trying to get into those Ungors. He'd probably be best trying to skirmish those Ungors out and fire some more rounds in when these units rally. His Chariot as well would be pretty good against Plague Monks if you get them in.
Yeah, Morgur,
Jeez, no.
being Morgur.
Malagor.
But yeah,
Malagor.
Malagor, sorry. Yeah, Morgur might have been a real pain in the ass because of
I still play Scream there on the Plague Monks, although Vile Tide would be nicer. At this point you could really just try and pull out some of those archers because the volume of fire that it can put on Plague Monks would be really nice at this point. Whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
and also
He
over
dropped
there,
on a summon as well. Okay. Who's playing Beastman again? It's logic, isn't it? Yeah, right. I'm noting that down in my black book.
Yeah, the Gorbal on the right was routed by the Double Chieftain. Yeah, Double Chieftain plus Skrulk is actually kind of scary. Because, you can probably look at the melee attack of all the units that try and fight them.
Well, Malagor getting booked here. He's getting hit with the book. Could be a good amount of damage, but he's got quite a small health pool Malagor, so it's probably going to die pretty quickly. He is affecting the leadership in this area, although I don't know if it's...
But I think the Plague Pack's still alive.
Is that a book? That's a book. It's a Water Corruption as well.
The funny thing is the Plague Pack's still alive, so it's still good with Rabble Rouse.
If they wear off, it could cause some leadership problems, but at this point, it's Skaven looking pretty healthy, all things considered.
Yeah, no. As long as you keep your Plague Pack with your leadership core, they will never break, more or less. Because all the extra leadership buffing from the lords, they're pretty much always killed down to a man.
Yeah, Logic should have definitely just tried to focus fire them down from the start. Like as soon as you saw them, just target both Ungot archers onto them, and they should whittle them down pretty quickly.
But in a lot of cases, Beastman is not the best matchup for Skaven because it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I think Beastman and Beastman Counts and Northgar are probably the worst matchup for Skaven.
Yeah, just those heavy rush factions or things.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point it is just a Skaven victory. There's some
Yeah, it would just be charged down.
Yeah, you can
mana
probably
for-
speed it
get
up now. Just
some of the-
Yeah.
triple it.
I think just some
There
bad
we go.
sort of spell placements and not bringing Morga. I think those are the only main problems there. I think the rest of the build is alright. 2 Gorbals is an interesting choice to going all out on them.
Malagor's spells don't seem that bad.
Oh no,
Duels are
but you
really
just
good.
bring a Breakcaster instead. And then you've got him on a
Yeah.
chariot as well, which is even better.
Oh, yeah, because the Breakcaster already does
Law
that.
of Wild isn't unique to Balrog, which is the problem. If it was, it'd be half decent.
Well, I don't have the Beastman DLC, so I
Poor,
don't know.
get it. I mean, don't get it, actually. That's a play. I'm not even going to recommend it to you. I'm not even
Yeah.
going to joke that that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like...
Wait until they get their rework in like a month.
Yeah, all the units got relatively
This plague might
okay
be quite
value.
actually. Probably one that actually got stuck into some gauze
Yeah.
and gauze. From a good angle.
Skrulk and
Bolted
the
nicely.
Chieftains, you want to look at them?
Chieftains didn't do but how much are Chieftains? How much were these?
They're 600 each.
But, even the one with all the items?
Yeah.
One with
They're-
Guardian and everything else, clever.
I think with all Guardian stuff, they're like 800 or 900. They're not super
But
expensive.
they paid for themselves a little bit over. So that wasn't
Yeah,
hard
they-
going back, but Skrulk, of
yeah.
course, being Skrulk.
But granted, their main objective was to just kill any large that tried to go after Skrulk and protect Skrulk.
Yeah, of course, yeah. This race goal unit went off this Storm Vermin, so it worked out quite nicely. And that's mostly it, really. What's next? Is it this one? It's this one, I think. VC versus
I didn't
Petunia.
have-
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna have to refresh this.
Yeah,
stream
you're
because
having
it's
some
flickering.
stream issues with it at the moment.
Stream issues.
Just give it a refresh.
Oh no, OBS disconnected.
No, you're fine.
Is it?
Let's see.
They just had a bit of a
Bad
lag.
Logic says the first match he won, but those chieftains messed everything up in the second. Yeah, like I tried to bring like a regular match with some Globadiers, some slaves and stuff, and they just evaporated to the fucking Ungors. Even though like I did damage to the Ungors, they just died. Ah, yes, this one. This is just a quick battle that I ended up playing at 3 a.m. in the morning because I needed an extra vampire play, and I ran into 3 really weird other matches. One where like. You know Desolation of Ostermark or something? You know, with all the stupid cliffs?
Yeah, that real shame room.
Yeah, the
The
Chaos
fun one.
player managed to box in, like, the tiniest corner, where there was only 2 ways in, and he had chosen halberds blocking them. And, like,
That's
held
premeditated.
games, so
You don't even
Yeah.
accidentally do that.
yeah, and it's like, cool, this is fun.
I'm still waiting
Probably
till
if I
they add
get-
ambush battles to quick battle.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Oh.
I can't wait to get ambushed with my Skaven gunline. Get chaos. That'd be fun.
I don't know. I feel like you could probably maybe get... Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay, I'm having to refresh it again.
It's working for me now.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I
working for me now.
I have to reconnect, so might have some problems. Apologies.
What the fuck?
And get better
There we go.
equipment.
Why does it keep,
This
like...
is amateur.
There we go. Alright. Oh, okay. It's buffering again. Twitch, what are you doing?
I'm keeping it pulled. In fact, maybe I'll stream it on here. I'll do it minimum raised resolution and frame rate so it doesn't have any internet issues.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you just watch my stream on here, it should help out. How's this looking?
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the Twitch to make sure it doesn't quality drop too badly.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Twitch.
Okay, can you move the camera?
Yeah, moving.
Ooh.
Well,
Okay,
so we got here for Petunia Army, eh?
Well, he's got a peasant front line,
peasant mobs.
men at arms, and then bowmen with a trebuchet.
Battle pilgrims, not men at arms.
Sorry, paddle pilgrims. The actual good unit that you want to bring
Yeah.
against undead.
Because they chew through them, and these ones have magical fire damage,
And
which is nice.
lots, like, I think 2 units of questing knights or 3 units of questing knights, a unit of Grail Guardians, and Knights of the Realm.
Grail Knights, yeah, Quest
Knight
Knights
Errant.
and Knights Errant, yeah. Some direwolves,
And,
sneaky deployed. back there,
Dire
which
Wolves
is
hidden in the back, just wait.
pretty good here since there's nothing guarding them.
Yeah. Well, I was
Repons
gonna
as well.
wait until
Wait
he
a
was
second.
busy microing something, so I could.
Oh, there was a caster. It's okay.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's a
he's there.
Livecaster like every Bretonian player.
Of course. What else are you going to bring? Hi. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
heavens. It's heavens, isn't it?
Heavens.
There's a third option,
Nice,
isn't there? Beast. Beast is
vampire.
okay sometimes, but ideally it's life 90% of the
Yeah.
time.
With
Yeah, he's got
knights,
Rapunzel as well, with
Yeah.
her hard-hitting hit ability and her little buff radius she has, as well as the explosion. could be good against the ethereal units if you get tied up by those. Although she doesn't do magic damage. There isn't an awful lot of magic damage besides these battle pilgrims. So some and the Grail Knights actually.
Grail Knights. Grey Guardians
also got magic damage.
Because the Grail Guardians is just the Grail Knight unit, isn't it? Is there?
Yeah, but like magic damage Britonia is actually decent.
I mean, in this situation, there isn't any. Looking at the vampire count roster.
I decided that I was sick and tired of trying to bring something that I usually bring for other armies I play, so I just brought Chaff, and more Chaff, and some Grave Guardians and Stern Guard.
I brought Chaff and Graveguard.
Yeah, Chaff and Graveguard, and Herman Gorst, because I hate myself, and I want to meme.
What are you bring on him?
Because I stuck Herman Gorst inside the Stern Guard.
You brought Wind of Death against Britonia?
Yes.
Yes,
I did. Yes,
Can I put the replay now?
Big funny.
It's real funny. Can I quit the replay?
instead of 2 zombies, I brought Winds of Death.
You brought Wind of... Yeah, okay. Yeah. We've also got Scab's... I guess Scab's great melee against archers, but... Like, you got wolves to kill archers. Or maybe against Battle Pilgrims are too spread out.
Yeah, Battle Pilgrims have 0 armor.
And maybe a bit too spread out. They got 45 armor. There you go. They got 30 armor. But they're a bit too spread out for Scab's rate to be maximum, unless you get a really good angle for it.
Not if they're up against a zombie unit.
Yeah, if they're tied up.
If I wipe out my own zombie unit.
Green Rust wants to know if there's a reason for go Hammond Ghost. It's probably if you want a cheap Mortis engine.
Yeah, because he effectively does what a Mortis engine does, but for much cheaper, and also has a ton of regeneration in comparison to a Mortis engine, and doesn't have a weakness to fire.
Yeah, assuming you tie up ranged units is just fine, and you're up against a box, he's just a better, probably the best situation. But it's like you've got to make careful.
He's a rather big target, and fire like archers are still gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, mainly the thing we want to do is stick him with a Graveguard. Mainly, some solid Graveguard, Stern Guard are excellent because they regenerate plus his regeneration.
Plus more Graveguard summons. It just means he's got so much HP and
so
armor.
He can just toss out summons behind the lines to get into the archers. It's just like he has his place. He's not super great in matchups where he can be sniped out, but against Britonia, the archers have a lot of other things that they want to shoot at because all the chaff and all of my knights.
Although any knight unit will destroy Ghost, so bear that in mind.
Yes. That's why he's inside. That's why he's inside the Stern Guard, so he can run away.
Use him as a buffer, more or less. Also as a Banshee.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Banshee, pretty much, I brought that so that I could terror out peasants or other units.
Yeah, there is a lack of terror causing, I know it, just because it's all you do.
I brought it because I was lacking terror, and I was like, here, Banshee. Because Banshees have slippery, so I can just pop that, keep them alive if any of the knights catch them. And if I remember correctly, most of the Bretonian lords don't actually have magic damage.
And most of them don't. I don't think there's any of them. Apart from the Fae.
Yeah, apart from the Fae. But if it's like against Rapans, I could just throw the Banshee against her, and she'll never...
As Ted frequently says, he has a flaming sword, why doesn't he have magical damage like the Grail Knights do? That's my best Ted impression.
Archaon.
Should have been a bit more Scottish. Oh well.
But yeah, and then
I brought
Blood Knights.
Some bats in the back as well.
Yes, I brought bats because my plan was just, I'd probably throw them at archers or something. I think I forgot about the bats at some point. I don't know.
I mean, I would as well.
I brought a unit of Blood Knights, a unit of Varric Reavers, and the Dire Pack. Which the idea is like use the Dire Pack with the Blood Knights to kind of buffer them against it.
Ideal situation here. Like these knights are so far away, but actually no, they're turning this way now, so they wouldn't be so far away.
That's I wanted to wait till I could get his attention over somewhere else where he's not looking, because I think he realized that he had a giant gap in the back. But I wanted to draw his knights forward.
Running into the peasant mob because, to be honest, what are they going to do? That peasant mob.
Yeah, I just ran them in to get this charge, and kind of forced them to micro. I think. This is when I send my Dire Pack out, I think.
Ghost with the Trebuchets, which is like the worst target. I mean, he's in the Sternsman, so if you miss, you're still gonna do some damage.
He's still gonna hit some of the Sternsmen, but...
Still pretty optimistic. Accuracy.
And I got Trebuchet.
All the Dire Pack are coming in.
Yeah.
The Dire Wolves are coming in.
Yeah, and pretty much I wanted to wait till his knights. He was too busy, where I could guarantee that I could kill
the Trebuchet. They're gone. Trebuchet gone. Completely gone.
And they've pretty much made up their cost now, 100%. They paid
for look at those.
Twice over almost.
Yeah, because the Blood Trebuchet is like 850, and Dire Wolves.
It only says 487 value, but I think it's because it shattered them off. So.
Yeah, it shattered them off. But yeah, the zombies are fighting through, and oh yeah, look at the center, that blob over there in the center. It's Herman Gorse just sitting there with Rapunzel, and the Banshee's just fighting her.
Oh yeah, no, he's over here, just the Banshee fighting over.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
a nice scab scrape there.
Yeah, that was.
Although it mostly hit the peasant mob than anything else.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would hit the. I was waiting till there.
Let's see if who gets a charge here. Bloodhounds are turning away.
I pulled them
trying to
back
get the zombies
so I
in.
could get the skeletons in.
Yeah,
Because I
trying to
have
get
4
that.
units of skeletons spearmen in the back.
Because when it comes to Grail, I think Blood Knights do beat Grail Knights to the straight up charge,
They
but
do.
you do want to
But-
get the charge. If you get the charge off, you're going to do the most damage. So.
Yeah, but I wanted to pull them back to get the spearmen in, so I a buffer unit and also something that can kill the Grail Knights. And I think I threw Herman Gorse in here, and he just oh yeah, the wind to death.
He buffed up the stats.
archers.
Oh, great. That hit one of the units of archers. That was not
and
worth
it
20 winds of magic.
feared. Yeah.
Like,
I
the main
tried
thing here
to
comes
line
from
it-
Helm Ghost is that he's given everything +5 of each stat, which when you look at these like Stonesmen, it's 3950. That's pretty good, especially when you give them regeneration.
And oh yeah, I summoned the Graveguard behind the knights, so I trapped his knights inside this melee.
A bit far behind, probably could have done deploying a bit closer.
Probably could have done it closer. This is where I break
Cavalry
all his knights
engagement.
on the right flank.
Yeah, cavalry engagement
With-
into the vampire counts there.
And zombies on the left. I think he threw his knights into this, and then I threw my spearmen into his knights.
Yes, keep countering, keep throwing things in until everything's countered.
Yeah. And the peasants are shooting, but
Yeah, he'd be better
Like,
off with
what
pox
do you
arrows at this
shoot?
point, because they're not really
Yeah.
doing much.
yeah, because he can't really shoot the Herman Gorse with peasant bows because he just keeps regenerating too quickly on the corpse guard.
Yeah, and Rapunzel's getting a bit surrounded here by really
Yeah.
high stat skeletons. 31-41 on the Graveguard. It's really good. Yeah, now the cavalry's fight's been
so-
won against Bretonia, that's usually how you can tell it's a pretty much a wrap. Although there is a bit of
wait,
questing
oh.
knights left still.
Yeah, they're still alive, but I made sure to run off the Grail Knights, so they didn't come back.
Psycho, that's like he asked about different laws of.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but we were talking about that. But
We might do
let's-
we might do a video on that at some point.
Way
might
too
do a-
large.
Yeah, it's quite a
Knights
large
are
topic going
pretty
through
obvious.
all of the cast. But we
Yeah.
might do that for a video at some point. Go through all the laws.
Also, most of the overviews, if the faction has specific lore magic, we
Ooh, I
go
heard
over
it.
it in
Heard the
that
explosion.
session.
Yeah, the specific ones. But at some point we might do the combined ones. Like
I think pretty much I end up breaking her, and I just send the Banshee after her.
yeah, I
and,
mean, she is immune psychology, I believe. Yeah, she is. So.
Yeah, but she can't kill the Banshee.
I know, she's just taking it from
around.
leadership from being surrounded at this point.
Yeah, and then at that point I was just like.
At this
I
point,
don't
it's
think
like,
there's-
where's the banter power come from?
Yeah. The peasant archers
You
really-
always reach a state in the game where you just go to the point you think, okay, I've won. Why haven't they lost yet? And you just look around for the highest value unit that you have to kill.
The life damsel still alive.
Probably the life damsel, yeah. And
I
I,
have
think
to
some
say-
of the knight ran off somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
the
wait.
battle pilgrims. The battle pilgrims are still fighting the zombies.
This is
Because
when I
the
start playing for
zombies-
fun. When I reach this point, it's when I start playing fun. I'm just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm just gonna go over the place.
Yeah,
I can't
the
lose at this
Grail-
point.
The Grail Knights. Actually, I think I get a heal
Yeah.
off on my blood knights before they die, and they
Also,
actually
yeah.
stay in the way.
Rapunzel's up to 3/4 of her health now, I guess.
Oh yeah,
she
because
got,
of that
she
regrowth on
got
her.
healed, but the Banshee is after her.
Yeah,
so.
but would she
yeah.
be caught? I don't know. I feel like I'm losses my hit before
No,
she runs.
she won't. She's too fast. But the thing is, even if she comes back, she'll be stuck fighting a Banshee for a while. Yeah, and then
She hasn't
I'm just
rallied
gonna
yet.
walk-
It's like, how long does it take for her to rally at this point?
I don't know. She does run pretty far away.
There you
Also,
go.
I
she's
think I
rallied down.
Rallying
summon a
now,
unit
but-
Graveguard that catches both the. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah, nice thing.
It catches both the units. It's like, oh no.
Look to the knights, they're so brave. Yeah, let's look at the knights, boys. Where are they? Oh, they're running for the hills. Yeah, there they go. There they go, boys. They're so brave. Let that peasant's quote go down in history. Because the only
Yeah.
knight left on the field is gone.
The battle pilgrims really did hold out, though. They held
Oh, yeah.
out for a long time.
They're crazy.
Let's see. Oh, another, yep. Scab's Grace.
Although I think that is finally armor losses. Bats haven't done
Yep.
anything.
Yeah,
Look at
I
them go.
actually didn't use the bats. I forgot that I even had them, I guess. But Herman Gorst, he did stuff.
He
Like-
did stuff.
He did. Yeah, it was. I guess it was just a weird scenario because archers don't do enough damage to kill him. I guess.
No. I don't suppose they do. I think just your best pet chance would be either sending a big lord like Leon, or just knights.
If they had Leon Kerr, that'd be a lot. I'd be a lot more scared.
This is just an estimate of Rapon's bad. There you go.
Yeah, pretty much. Leon Kerr, I would rather have had more trouble. I would have had to keep both the Banshee and the White King with him at all times.
Even Albrecht would have killed him.
Yeah. Albrecht would have fucking slapped his
Hang on
shit.
a second, none of these are my replays. I want one with me in.
What? Let's see.
I wasn't in this one. No, this one I was.
Yes, you were in that
this one. This looks... Oh, this was a good one. I'll do this one now. Screw your order. I'm doing my order.
What?
Did I kick
Can't kick me, I'm here. Right, so we've got a good old 2v2 here replay. Vampire count here on this side, with me, yours truly, playing. Against Lizardmen and Wood Elves.
You didn't submit any replays, Willow.
Yeah,
I saved this in my personal diary.
We can't cast replays that have not been, like, they could be evil words.
And they could be evil. Oh, they could be. Well, I spell out like an evil word with skeletons.
What's the reason for the Ghoul King? The Ghoul King has.
He's got like the 50%. He's not a terrorist again.
Yeah, you put him on Terrorgeist, he's really strong at killing any large, and he has the plus 50% armor piercing, making him really good against armored units.
The only downside is he can't summon zombies.
The only thing he gets is a Terrorgeist mount as opposed to a Zombie Dragon mount. The Terrorgeist mount is anti-large with 35 anti-large.
Yeah.
And he also has the Ghoul King of Ushon, which is an ability which heals him for 1,500.
Yes, and
and
it's
gives the leadership or something.
Yeah, it gives 8 leadership.
I would argue he would be the best vampire count lord by far if he had a zombie summon and had more magic, because there's the only two things bringing about him down.
Workarounds is just bring a necromancer with zombie
summon.
summon.
But the fact that you need that workaround sort of doesn't help too much.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't have arcane conduit, which is his downside.
Well, he does get the power stone, which is...
Yeah, but it's not that much compared to an arcane conduit. It's like one arcane conduit.
Yeah, but it's 60 gold. I always buy it.
It's
really...
It's very good. Whenever you can bring it, you bring it, but it's not as good as arcane conduit. So yeah, looking at the vampire
probably just ignore the Wood Elves and the Bretonnians.
I mean, yeah, you can see this. What did I... Never mind. 3 units of Blood Knights. I got 2 units on this left side, as well as 1 on the core, because Blood Knights are just the best unit in the vampire count roster, so you always usually want to bring them, especially in situations like these two factions. Works very well. Yeah. Also, the Strigoi can bring Soulblight, which drops armor, which helps the Blood Knights out quite a bit in terms of their damage potential. 2 sort of anchor points here in the Necromancers, because those Necromancers on these corpse cart provide really good regeneration. The Necromancer ability plus the ability from the Unholy Lodestone and the corpse cart itself just really means these are going to hold out a lot longer, even against like Saurus and stuff that would normally chew through them really quickly. Means they're going to last like the entire battle. Also, a new unit of Direwolves just to chase off skirmishers and the likes. And also the same thing with the Dire Pack, it's just a sort of upgraded version in terms of that. We don't need to look over here. We're just looking at the Vampire Count army. It's Vampire Count day.
It looks like that your opponents might have
something over there.
Trouble.
Yeah. With their family life, by the looks of things. With built ice.
I don't know.
What is this replay? What is this replay, Willow? Why'd you pick this?
Why are we watching this, Willow? Like,
this is like.
Are we watching?
Give me my moat.
Units of skirmishers just chase after you.
Listen,
like,
you just want to point out that you still won the game, even though your lord got basically.
No, it doesn't actually. Look, the Strigoi goes on for a real long time. I'm dropping Spirit Leeches here on the Hawk Riders because the single models you really want to drop that damage on.
Greenest says recently I've been using the Blood Dragon Lord for use
Blood Dragon
is
pretty good as well, yeah.
Too expensive.
Yeah, his armor
good.
Sundering. This is a terrible decision here for the.
Like, Willow, you're just beating on noobs at this point.
No,
like,
it's Ted's here as well. Come on now. Also, this is a really high level play skirmish battle.
This is a high level play. He's literally.
He dropped his things on zombies as well. There's something good about this. There's a good charge here against the Firebark Elders with the Blood Knights.
You mean the Firebark Elders he didn't put in the center of his formation?
Yeah, the ones he put on the side.
Where they should be armored units that you're using your Blood Knights against, which with the anti-large armor-piercing spears behind.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm pulling them back. I'm only getting that charge in, then pulling them back. Although some of them are getting caught. Yeah, forget this one happened, eh? I could have sworn there was another one we did.
And this is why we don't let Willow pick the replays.
Wait a second, there's some that Skaven. There's some that I said Skaven. Like us put in the chat 1 second. I'll load the next one up there.
That would be replay 8.
Is that 8? Is it? I'm not in this one.
It's
though.
8.
Okay, fine.
You watched it though.
Yeah.
Oh, was I in spectator for this one? Was
Yes, you were.
That probably means it wasn't
Mhm.
one of the good ones. I could have sworn all the ones I spectated they were terrible.
Ah.
When it comes to picking vampire count lords, you'll have to look back at the video. I think we went over which sort of situation you bring for which, because my god, it's basically just the last 4 that are worth bringing most of the time.
Yeah,
the other ones are either really
the
situational
other-
or terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's one matchup for every vampire lord that you
Isn't
can.
Lemira
Yeah.
just the worst? Considered
Who?
the worst?
Who?
Lemira. Lamaria,
Yes, the
or whatever.
Lamian vampire lord is considered probably. No, I think the
No.
Necroc is considered the worst.
I'd say Isabella's the worst. I just don't think she's
No,
good.
no, meant from the bloodline.
Oh
lord,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
In terms of
Isabella's
bloodline lords,
ability
it would
that-
be the Necroc one. I think that one's because like what I think they get like the weird beast, lore of beasts ability spells.
Wait, one second. Greenest is say so. The Blood Dragon Lord.
Yeah, that's what we were
has
just answering
traits.
with which lords
Yeah.
are which.
Yes.
When do you choose the Ghoul King, and when do you choose Zombie Dragon
Mhm.
Blood Knight?
Okay,
What were you
so
saying about looking
basically,
back at the video?
you take the Strigoi Vampire Lord because of the Terrorgeist if you need like armor piercing, large killing power, like anti-large armor piercing and self healing. Willow, you want to go on with the Blood Dragon?
Blood Dragon you bring because
slow it
the
down.
Helm of Discord. It's good. You bring it.
Alright,
More or less the only reason that Blood Dragon Lord's taken often.
I guess do we want to go over the vampires or the Skaven first?
Who's playing who? I'll let Lycus go over his
I
first.
am playing the Skaven, and I think Sedan is
Psycho seems
the
to-
other Skaven? Sedan?
Psycho's too eager, so Lycus, you go over whatever you're doing. What are you doing, Lycus, here? Who are you? Who are you? Which one are you?
Okay, I'm the other vampires. Yeah, this vampires.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's
basically
Ted.
zombie frontline.
Oh, of course it is. It's from Caster. Of course it's Ted. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so zombie frontline, you don't need really much else, just some fire.
Voice
I
crack.
have the Sternsmen because Sternsmen are just perfect. And I just decided to bring 2 Crypt Ghouls because I don't want to bring too much because I feel like they're like not that performing that really that good.
Your
Except if you're,
reasoning
like,
is god awful. I bring Sturdsman because good. I bring Crypt Ghoul because not too much Crypt Ghoul. My god.
no, I
Why are you
don't want
here?
to bring like a heavy frontline. I don't like the heavy frontline of Crypt Ghouls because I feel like they're getting killed then. For some
That's
reason,
better.
this is why I bring
That's better.
Spear Omnits. Okay,
Next.
Blood Knights because Blood Knights perfect.
God, I hate you.
2 Black Knights. 2 Black Knights because anti-infantry bonus. Okay. Got him. Lamian Vampire Lord. Okay, I put her on the health seat because she's fast. She can dodge Giselle shots. She can dodge most other shit. She's not too bothered by rattling guns. I don't think rattling guns are good in this matchup anyway. I brought the Vargeist because like heavy damage. Also, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you have a really big delay. This is a problem.
I'm streaming it on Discord for a reason.
Yeah, he's on Discord, so.
Don't
You have-
complain to me.
okay. Good. Vargeist really, really good against low armored units. They actually shoot through Skaven, which is just one, just because I don't want to overload the air. I brought the Lamian Vampire Lord because I think she's actually the most fun one. I equipped
What?
her with like a lot of spells, really a lot of spells. The
What-
Pendulum to kill, basically stomp them with halberds. Just invocation and zombie summonings, of course. And I think I also equipped her with enfeebling foe in case I need to like debuff some storm vermin or debuff a halberd or whatever. Her abilities are really good because it's an AoE minus 24 melee attack debuff.
Yeah, her
setup.
abilities are really
Yeah.
good at stopping things from
Really.
like sniping her, pretty much.
Yes,
Or counter two
she's
squads.
really survivable. And in a blob fight, she's not as good as she's no Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, but she is, I think, the better like crowd fighter.
Right.
And I also have the ROR version of the Crypt Ghouls hidden somewhere in the trees because I think
There's
the
die
Dire
pack.
Pack, of course, Dire Pack anti-large non-armor piercing is perfect against Skaven, and I think I have the Crypt.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever
I
they're
bet
called.
they take the entire game to get over there.
No, they actually get there pretty fast.
Crazy.
And also, like, this
Because
was
they
the
are
only
pretty
place I
fast.
could put them.
Alright, looking
Okay.
at Ted's army, it's...
Skeleton!
It's Vlad. Skeletons. It's a lot of skeleton. It's just... Oh, there's a Graveguard in the back. No, it's... he's got 2 units of
Okay.
Vargeists. Those aren't Necromancers, those are just the basic corpse
Just
cart.
normal corpse
Bring... I don't think there's any time or situation that you just don't want to bring 2 Necromancers on corpse carts. So
if you want to
instead
have
of bringing the
Scab
regular
Grace,
ones,
then you don't
yeah,
need
if you want the Scabs Grace, I guess. If you really want that badly.
But you only brought one.
Black Knights, Blood Knights. No Blood Knights. Yeah, he's really lacking some anti-large here. Was he against Skaven?
Skaven.
Can't blame him, but
my army
it's not going to turn out too
specifically.
much. Oh no, it's not
No.
even a sub-faction. Which one is which?
I'm on the right.
Okay, here we go.
It's
So
pretty much, if you stop now, you have the whole army.
So I brought a front line of clan rats with spears because I expected either lots of blood knights or something actually dangerous.
Joke's on you, there's nothing there.
Yeah, I know. I brought the plague back to pretty much keep my hero core of the chieftain and warp block master to stop routing because they're immune to psychology. Brought the plague priest on his bell. Brought a hell pit abomination because if they don't have blood knights, I can just run around and do whatever the hell I want. Also, with the plague priest, I brought vermintide and also the pestilent breath, so I have 2 of them.
That's a lot of spells you
that
got there.
brought. Yeah, I do, and I do. I think I use most of them throughout the match.
Mm-hmm.
I have plague monks to pretty much chew up any easy units. I also have storm vermin. I think with halberds.
Yes,
I have
one
a
of them is the
council
council
guard
guard.
and and then storm vermin with halberds.
Yeah, that's it, okay.
Pretty much tight, close together, high morale army to hold together as
And
long as possible.
looking pretty similar over here as this Sedain. Yeah, it's
Sedain, basically, he brought the same, had the same idea. He brought some plague monks, which is good.
Plague priest, hell pit,
He brought
Pack
raised.
Packmaster, Thwart.
Throt and the Packmaster. I think this is a little bit of overload because the Packmaster heals with regeneration, but he only has brought one Hell Pit, which already has regeneration.
Yeah,
I mean, you
and he
double
also
down
has
on
Thwart
healing,
as well.
but
More
you
healing.
don't need that amount of healing. You could
Yeah.
either cut Throt and then get like a Grace here on a
I'd say drop
plague,
the Packmaster and then you can bring something else
or
there.
drop
Yeah.
the Packmaster and maybe get the Aura Ratogas as well, because then you have some more mass.
Don't worry,
And
Willow.
also,
I moved my army
I
to
think-
the left.
The 2 units of Globadiers are really good because they basically kill even knights.
Yeah, Graveguard will chew through as well nicely. So yeah, a lot of like 2 hell pits and Thwart. There's really asking for blood knights, but there's only 1 unit of blood knights on the enemy team, so they got a pretty good lucky break there.
Well, I brought 4 units of clan rats with shields and spears.
Yeah, just to
so
prepare for that blood knight rush. But little do you know, there's only 1
Yeah, and I got to do whatever the hell I want with the
and
hell pit.
3 Vargeists for some reason. Only 1 unit of
Well,
bats.
let's-
Anyway,
Yeah,
let's
we'll
get this
see how
going.
let's see how this
Oh, there's
goes.
2 units of bats. Never mind. That's more like it. Of course, I can see Lycus engaging a bit too quickly here as Ted just slumps his way forward.
I moved over the river to set up and prepare to engage.
I see, yeah, splitting apart, sort of having your own separate engagements either side here.
Yeah, so
The
you know, not to
Feasters
muddle
and the
the
Dark are
other's
on the
battle.
move.
Which army do you want to watch first?
Do I have to watch both? Do I have to? I'm sure we can watch. I'm going to be really quick with my spectating.
I mean,
and
you can do some
observation.
pauses. I think the one on the left.
Yeah,
is
I'll slow
pretty
down whenever it seems like it. But
Yeah.
right
It
now,
also takes
I'm
a while to
noticing a
engage.
lack of engagement here on the Skaven side. They're rule breaking. You're rule breaking. Why are you rule breaking?
Well, I'm actually moving, so.
Rule breaking. I know, but you're not moving towards the enemy. You're moving like from a weird
Yes, I
direct
am.
angle.
I'm moving towards Ted.
Is this towards? This is more of like a this angle. I think the towards has to be a straight towards.
What the fuck are those clan rats doing, Willow?
This one's just.
What are
this
they
one's.
doing?
It's deploying in this
What are they
direction.
doing?
Look at where are they going? Doesn't look
Still
quite like
walking.
towards. It's like
Like
off to the side.
Sedain, he wants to line up.
You're
next
breaking
to
the rules.
Psycho, but
Disqualified.
Psycho
Why are you
keeps
sending
running
in? Why are
away
you
from
sending in rule breaks? You're trying to encourage new players to break rules. Get out. Leave. Blood Knight's gonna have a field day here. I look forward to seeing your help it die.
Okay, so Sedain, really good play. He's sending up the Hellpit because he noticed that my Blood Knights are far away.
Really good play.
which is better
Sending
my
him to
idea.
zombies.
But he's sending in to zombies, which is not the best.
No, it's not the good play.
By the way, I also have 2 necromancers.
Oh, yeah, he
on
is,
cards,
So here the engagement's happening over here. We have the Mortis Engine effect removed for the Plague Priest. The Cav on hold because Ted always forgets about his Cav for us all that minute. Vargeist flying around the place. Probably should get into those. No, they're going into the spears. What are you doing, Lycus?
Because I'm
What are
lining
you-
up the charge.
Oh, and
I'm lining up the
there
charge and the
goes
spears are going to
So
be
you
gone
can
in
get
a
into
second.
the
Clan
poison and Globadiers. I won't be worried about the Globadiers destroying your front line now. but
Globadiers
sure.
are throwing into zombies.
Ted only just now moving his Cav, taking his time there. this whole flank trying to get overwhelmed as quickly as possible. That pendulum went into your own units. You tell me about sending a replays, and you send this. You've forgotten about a necromancer.
You said you wanted to.
Just wanted to see me win one, okay? Is that so bad?
Tactical reserve.
You have necromancers getting destroyed by a helpet.
Like,
Why isn't your
I feel
necromancer
like,
with the
I feel
infantry?
like Ted in my battle isn't that bad.
Yeah, this. I'm gonna look at this one. I'm not even looking at yours like this. What? Never mind. The
Because
Vargeist.
it's a pretty-
It's been about 5
Vargeist
minutes,
are-
and these still haven't moved. They aren't doing anything.
Yeah, I
Vargeist are
know,
hovering.
I was like walking the clan rats and storm vermin, kind of like, when are they gonna attack?
Yeah, when are they gonna do something? Because they're taking their time. Okay, Blight Scab's dead.
Yeah.
This
Oh wait, I
necromancer's
think I
dead.
dropped. Wait, if you turn around,
Blood
I
Knight's
think I
there.
dropped a warp lightning on
Ooh. I'm waiting.
the night they come in.
I'm waiting.
Let's see.
I'll wait. I'll hear it. And then I'll look back.
Or oh wait, I dropped a brass sword.
Who's a brass? Oh yeah, I hear it. I heard that brass. Oh yeah, there it goes. Under the Black Knights.
Yeah, right on top. Of
Doing a bit of damage to the plaguements there, though I think they're
And
already pretty
there's the
scared.
warp. Ooh, yeah, that's half the unit. Okay.
Oh yeah, there's some sort of zap that went off there. I missed.
Yeah, I hit it with the warp lightning, wiped out half the unit, so I did a lot of
Nice.
damage to those knights right away.
Yeah, it's a real mess. This tends to be how the vampire. This is why Skaven need to box, because otherwise they just sort of get overwhelmed by all
Yeah.
angles. Of course, when somebody takes like 3 minutes to deploy their cavalry, it helps a bit. But
Yeah,
still.
I know, right?
Help
Well,
it getting
granted,
chewed up
I
here by
had,
the Blood Knights, the 1 unit of Blood Knights.
units of Vanji Cav, so I
Yes,
don't
but
know
it
what he was
actually
supposed to do.
escapes and it gets regenerated.
Oh, does it? Oh, another pendulum going there. Probably targeted for the council guard there. Hard to tell.
Yeah, I didn't really get the best pendulums off, so I'm not going to bring them again against Skaven. They don't.
They don't do. Yeah, you ideally want more of a cheap sort of breath.
Well, he
pendulums
didn't
are
have any
AP, sort of
storm vermin. The thing is,
Yeah,
he
the
had no
council
storm
guard.
vermin.
Ooh, a nice zap
Oh yeah,
going there.
flensing ruin.
Would have been nice. Oh, it's gonna do some good solid damage, especially seeing the Vargeist don't have regeneration.
Yeah.
Would have been maybe better to
Vargeist
cast
don't
here
have
though, on
regen.
like Vlad and with White King and such.
Well, the Vlad's gonna just regenerate.
Yeah, but
anyways,
I feel like you need to hit
so-
that healing cap anyway when it comes to Vlad. He's not gonna
True.
die beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm thinking if you kill the army around Vlad, then you can just win.
Blood Knight's definitely a key unit in this engagement. They're gonna be responsible for killing Throt and the help hit.
But I think I used that because I wanted to get the
Necromancer's
Vargeist
sat on
off
the
the
back.
health hit, effectively.
Yeah, that was the one who almost died. So
Give him a
like,
break. I mean, this other one only just got in. So melee either. So.
Yeah.
Packmaster getting run off by some Black Knights. Dire Pack back here. Just sort of chasing off and finishing off
I
those
thought he
routed
would
units.
not notice it.
Oh, are they not doing anything?
Oh, I drop another brass
Oh, nice.
orb
Ooh,
on
brass
top
orb
of
They
the
were
goes to
Grace
base
chasing
guard, that's
some
very
of the rocket units, I think, but they
Not doing. It's doing a good chunk of damage, I'd say. It's a fair amount
Yeah.
for a free ability. Well, no winter magic,
Yeah.
I mean. Except for free.
I do use a lot, quite a bit of my magic, so.
The Plague Priest would be doing a lot of AoE damage here with his motion. What is that effect? Nice. Are you hearing that? Oh my god. That's triggering a few too many times. But yeah, Plague Priest triggering its more essential effect here on pretty much every vampire count. All of Lycus' army is pretty much getting affected by that at this point. There it goes again.
I think I
Oh my god, it's still
start-
going. It's really excited about doing its AoE debuff. It's really happy about that.
Over by Ted. Big blob in the center.
Yeah, I can see this taking a while. It's going to be a blob of heroes versus Vlad. Vlad don't die quick. Vlad
but
die slow.
The Warlock Master isn't that bad because he's anti-infantry too. So
Yeah, no, but Vlad doesn't die quick.
he doesn't
Vlad
die
dies slow.
quickly. So I think I just walk him back out and just decide to warp lightning other things.
Warp lightning things,
until
yeah.
it's all dead.
It is pretty much the same thing over here. It's just a leadership tool versus more mass.
Yeah.
This is why you see that blobbing is like really good.
Yeah,
Because I
this is
absolutely run over the Dane's army except for the hero core,
Yeah, except from that core.
which takes ages getting killed. You only have one blood knight unit, and there's also the Stormwind with Halberds.
Yeah, you only have one blood knight.
That's
Eh?
okay.
Oh my god, I think at this point Ted's used all of his scab sprites on all of my
Yeah, I think you used it on your council guard there. So, you know, but
Yeah.
you've got nothing else to spend it on, you may as well.
Yeah.
Plague Priest goes down on Lycus' side today. So goes down. Help it going on for a pretty good length of time. With all its
Yes,
regen.
because they help it regenerate to almost
I
full
think
health
at this
because
point,
he-
I think
he avoids.
Sedane's army is effectively dead, so you can just watch.
No,
him
he
fight
waits
Throt.
until the helper is dead, then he tries to run away with Throt, which he actually managed.
Throt is pretty low in morale at that
Oh
point.
yeah,
Fuck the
I remember
monster,
because
please.
it's like, wait, I see in the corner of my eye, Throt's running towards my army, and I look over. There's no
Chase.
army left, and there's a bullet, like an almost fully healed unit of Blood Knights chasing after her. It's like,
Ah, good.
see Sheila lose today.
A good day to die, my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. Throat nearly running. He's on like 8 and HP.
You know what the sad part is? I still had like a full health Abomination, the Plague Priest, and my entire hero force still alive.
Yeah, like that help hit's got a ton of regen as well. It's like Throat's ability could be used over here more. I don't know if he's already used both shields yet, but it could be.
I don't think he used heals. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, the help hit has gone down at the start of this game.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure if Lycus didn't run in, I would have killed Ted's army eventually because he was running
also,
out.
I know I
have
have I didn't want to engage the bats because I honestly didn't want to screw up the fight between Ted.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, you could try to chase off some of these rare units. I don't know if you know this plague.
Yeah, but I didn't want to, like, I specifically didn't want to interfere.
Well,
this is also where the dire pack is just sitting there in the forest doing nothing.
Yeah.
Throughout the Unclean, yeah, here he comes, bringing all those problems over. Benny Hill theme kicks in.
Like, he really ran apart through the Blood Knight units. Like, you can't trap him.
Just pushes through.
Yeah, he just runs through. I don't know how he did that.
Is he just going to vertically climb now? Right, God.
Run away! Run away!
Don't worry, help it's anti-large, it'll win, right? No, right. Although there is still a bell over here, so you know the bell.
Oh yeah, I dropped a Pestilent Breath, getting some damage. I think I dropped another.
Was that an overcasted Pestilent
Breath?
Breath? Or is it the base one? That
It's the base one, And then I drop a Brass Orb here to try and kill
and then I
many
try to run away.
Oh no, there's 4 Skaven slaves that are getting spawned in the Brass Orb. They're getting spawned in into the Brass Orb. That's not very nice. That's mean.
Yeah. That charge kind of...
Vargeist throwing down onto the Plague Priests. A priest, singular.
It's pretty much the Council Guard, the Plague Priest, and the Warplock Master just fighting it out. And I think Army losses hits in while my entire hero corps is still alive.
Yeah, Vlad is pretty good in multiplayer in terms of you can't kill him. He suffers from the whole ghost effect of that he can't get close. Like if you could put him on a mount, he'd be insane. Because his only real downside is the fact that he can't get close. He can't really keep up with the cavalry to support them. That's his only real downside. But apart from that, he's great.
Green Rust says, "Is there any point you
that's what I was
want
answering.
to use Vlad?" Okay, good. Okay, you can't actually see the chat.
Yeah, I can just OBS echo too.
For some reason, I don't see the message from Green Rust. I was watching chat.
Oh, maybe it's because you're bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
Could be
I saw it,
anything.
but I was focusing more on the battle currently than answering.
I know, wait, do you have admin privileges at the server? I mean, you can't mute me on the
I
stream.
have right. Yeah.
I mean,
or, well,
if you mute me, it doesn't mute me on stream.
Willow of the question.
The question?
Yes, the question of when to use Vlad.
Oh yeah, I said, yeah, that was the answer. Anyway, it's over, thank god. That was terrible, Mal. Lycus played terribly. Don't do what Lycus did, basically.
Like, I feel like mine and Ted's match was...
Oh, the values!
bad.
I didn't see them. I'm sorry. I saw silver chevrons in the Blood Knights, so Blood Knight did good.
Yes,
who would have thought the
came in
one unit of
silver
Blood Knight
chevrons.
would have done good?
Yeah.
Wait, they came
I think they...
I know, actually, my Warplock Master, the Chieftain, and the Plague Priest all got like at least over 2,000. Or no, probably just the Warplock and the Plague Priest and the Abomination, just running around, just causing havoc, using spells.
I think your single entity core did like half, or more than half the damage.
More than half the damage. The Plague Priests ended up getting wrecked by just a big charge hitting them. And also getting hit with Scab Scrate every like 5 minutes. 8 is interesting, I guess.
8, the one we just watched.
No, 7. I mean, it's
This
well,
one.
why Norska is not a great matchup.
Wait a
for
second.
Skaven. What?
For every single one of the Skaven we play has been counter picks.
Yes.
Greenskins isn't that much of a counter pick, but still, I think everyone has been just counter picks.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe
everyone just picks. Yeah.
What was it, 7?
Well, except I don't know. Yeah, 7. So it's this.
That Ashencaster. I don't think Lycus wants to watch this one.
Well, he's got Scroll.
Wait a
so
second,
it's
he's got
okay.
Scroll Cannon Ashencaster. That's worse.
Well, I think all he had.
Oh, and he's
was...
got a mute. He's got the health feed, but he's not got any healing for it.
But, no. I think all he has on the Ashencaster is Brittlebone to give -40 melee attack and -24 speed.
He's got shielded clan rats against Norska, and he's got no Skaven slaves.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Like I say
Skaven
something.
slaves would... you'll see why the slaves probably wouldn't be the greatest choice.
I mean, you want to...
Slaves get absolutely wrecked, but like
I mean, if you're throwing Globadiers around, why are they so close? Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah. This is a build that I used to just bring against Vampire cosplayers, where I bring the Soul Crusher with his 44% damage resist, and then a Sorcerer with the 22% damage resist scroll. Stack it on both of them, so he has 66 damage resist, and just yeet him straight in the middle of a formation, and just break up as much as I can, drawing attention. Run the Marauders in while they're busy shooting that. They aren't killing my Marauders, meaning I can run them in. And then Wolfric comes in behind and finishes the job. Also, Firecaster.
And
Pretty
lots of
straightforward.
Berserkers.
Some Javelins and Marauders. Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
straightforward.
it's Norse good. It's general
Norse
strategy is just go forward. And if it's still dead when you go through it, just turn around.
Yeah, if it's not dead yet.
Wait a second, this is on ultra unit scale.
Yes, this was really
grumble,
weird.
grumble. Okay, there's
Yeah,
two
I know,
wolf rats over
grumble.
this side. That'll be
I'm
good against like
sorry.
Norskin skirmish stuff. I thought this was quick battle, to be honest. But it was a
I
premeditated.
know.
3 Globadiers, a warp lightning cannon. It should be noted that Norska can bring hounds, and there's a real nice opening there. If there was one deployed in the corner back here, I don't know if you can deploy in the corner back here, but assuming you can. Really
Yes,
nice.
you can. Yes, you can.
You can actually deploy, I think, the whole backline.
Yeah, I thought this was on this map.
Willow.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to give him a fighting chance.
Ah, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Why bring hounds when I can just bring more Marauders to get shot?
Yeah, so he's got Eshencaster with, of course, Brittle Bone and
Wait, did he bring something else?
Armor of
If it
Darkness. What did he...
Oh, Armor of Darkness plus 60 armor and 22%
Yes,
missile
yes,
resist. So it's actually okay against Berserkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, the 2 spells are fine. They're,
Yeah. I
like,
mean,
bringing
that's-
Ashen Sorcerer with just that is fine.
You do see there's also 3 spells on Squelk as well. Usually, I think 4 spells is like the maximum you want to bring, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, if he brought, like, Pestilent Breath plus Vermintide with Brittle Bone and Armor of
it's like,
Darkness.
he's
that
got a lot
would've
of magic to spend,
Yeah.
and not a
And
lot
it's
of
just
magic to
not
spend it
Even
on.
you can use both summon spells, and then you've used pretty much all of your magic.
Yeah.
Also, like we said in the when covering the Skaven rosters, you pretty much only want to bring this guy when you have healing. He's not awfully good without the healing. You're
And,
missing
you'll see-
missing a trick if you don't bring the healing. with him.
You'll see a reason why he's probably not a great choice against Norska.
Yeah, I mean he's more of a
Low armor, skin wolves will eat him alive, and
Yeah.
also he's standing in the way of the cannons.
yeah. Also, and I think they'll shoot over him just.
Well, granted, I could
I wouldn't
Well,
count on it.
actually, Lycus, if you want to see a funny replay, I have one where I had a unit of Warp Lightning Cannons miss 12 out of 15 shots on a Hell Cannon.
Yeah, send you painful replays there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Norska probably Skinwolf's good. Skinwolves win against everything
yeah.
in the Skaven roster, pretty much.
Skin wolves kill the Elpits, skin wolves kill
Kill
the
Throts,
Wraiths,
they kill everything.
Belts,
and everything.
which are pretty
The-
common, and skin wolves kill the rat ogres.
Yeah.
They still do
The
plenty
only-
good against clan
The
rats.
only downside is the fact that they have low morale and can be shot a lot, so you have to be
They
kind
have
of
regen,
careful.
so shooting them isn't even the best strategy.
Yeah. I mean, like,
That's why
if they
Skaven
take too
struggle
much-
generally.
Yeah, I mean, if they take a bunch of damage at once. Yeah, I
Using
think
the
this is where I
Firecaster.
pop.
Ooh,
yeah.
Burning Head. How much fire resistance do these have? We'll find out how good their fire resistance helps them in a
70, I
minute.
think.
Oh, is it 70? So they're going to take like no damage from that.
But I
Right,
have
we're
a
gonna take the-
66% damage resist now, so he's taking effectively no
Throwing
damage.
globes into him and throwing light. Yeah, this is exactly what you want him to do. He's really falling for the trick here. That he's got 66% damage resist at this point, and he's
Yep,
just targeting everything at him while he's got that buff activated. It's not what you want to
Yeah,
do.
this is what you call panic mode.
Yeah, you really need to be focusing some of these tools into these areas here. It's like this is overwhelm central about to happen right now. He's focusing everything on here, so all the tools that he has to try and skim down the oncoming horde is just like they're not there. Like what was he aiming at there? Where's they going?
then
Oh, they'll
also,
just disintegrate. They even
Wolfric
hit their
is
max
here
range.
now, and
Yeah, we'll fix that to
pretty
show up
much-
as well.
yeah, I just pretty much start bouncing Wolfric and this roll
Because
pressure
you
between
notice-
all of the range.
You notice that the fact that this guy's already on half health. If this was just a regular mammoth, if he had targeted everything he targeted onto Wolfric instead, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Like he's at half health. He had about 66% damage resist the whole time. So the maths out that he would have killed
the
it.
lightning cannons do like 50
And all the
damage.
globes. Wolf rats going in from orders here. Zaps into the Soul Crusher continuously. Although the abilities aren't popping also that is maximum
I
damage.
think.
Ooh, nice,
Oh yeah,
nice
here
bolt
comes the
out here.
boat. Yeah, right.
Oh, very nice. Half the health there, going for those plague points. Ooh,
and
a
I
perfect
think-
target as well. The hunter's having a field
Yeah.
day with the Hellion. because that's an ideal target. Low armor. It's a large monster. Yep. It's stuck into its melee, so it's not moving anywhere. It's great.
Yeah, and Wolfric bouncing around. Another a burning head right through the. They have a lot of fire resistance.
It helped. It wasn't enough to save them, no. But also, it should be noted that the burned effect still applies to them even with the resistance, so they're still going to take them out penalty.
So that's 4 units all routed.
Also, they have 70%, but that does drop them to 50% when you apply the flame casting passive buff.
Oh yeah. So they only block half. But yeah.
Saw a book go down there. Pretty nice against the massive Norseman infantry. Unfortunately, only hit like 1 unit.
Probably would have helped a bit more if he had like a single unit of Rat Ogres to pin the Soul Crusher.
Yeah, I think the main thing.
He
had nothing to deal with.
Warplating cannon, yes, but very slow damage. Same as like bolt throws on normal cannons. Slow damage against large targets.
It's just generally what happens.
I think it's perfect, but they have so the Soul Crusher has like 12k HP. The
plus damage
resistance has like 10 or 11.
Yeah, 10.
Without the damage resistance, it takes like ages to kill it via a Warp Lightning Cannon. You don't have anything to net it down, like you have no Warp Grinders. And the Poison Wind Globadiers are just not doing the damage fast enough, and they need to be in range.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Like the range is so short, so I would rather go for a mortar in this case, because at least you can do a couple of volleys before you die.
And also the kind of depressing thing for the Skaven player is that most of his army was still on the field and not dead.
Yeah, but there was nothing he could do. There was nothing from a Skaven perspective. There was nothing he could do about
from a Skaven
mammoth, let alone 2 mammoths. Like the Globadiers were gone. The Warp Lightning Cannon was gone. Like there's nothing he could do. Like I think the army losses was specified, maybe not from a cost perspective, but simply from a who could win this perspective.
Oh yeah, the replay 9, where
this will probably be the last one as well. It's a TED replay.
You want to watch the funnies.
Adding it on a TED replay. I mean, we've got time for next week as well, because we're going to do another one next week, I reckon.
Are we doing this of the Skaven again?
Psycho.
Yes.
Why? Wait, why though? Why?
I was curious to see what Catapult would do to archers.
Okay.
That's really it.
That's nice.
Yeah. And also probably should have just shot at the horses because they just had a better odds shooting at horses.
It would have made Ted. I can already imagine Ted. I've already seen Ted's reaction whenever he brings these really expensive cavalry. Just Warp Lightning Cannons would have been so fun to fire into these. Look at them.
Oh yeah, actually, you know the sad thing is, if I had both catapults just shooting his cav, they would have done. I would have probably done significantly better because they're actually hitting his cavalry pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty standard.
Actually, all these Skaven artillery just needs damage.
Yeah,
so okay.
So
basically, what Ted idea was, it's Ted. He always brings like Borderlow, because he likes them.
Likes the color blue.
When at Arms Frontline, pretty expensive. You can go for like more Tazen mobs. A lot of archers, really, really good. But I don't think he has. Has he fire arrows? I like the quality of the stream is
Pox arrow, regular arrow, Pox arrow, regular arrow. 2 of each.
You want fire arrows against Skaven because Throt regenerates and Helpet regenerates, and then spears in the back seems just okay. Really, 2 Grail Knights, which is like a huge overpayment for what you need to kill. You could just bring Knights of the Realm.
Yeah, Knights of the Realm will do the exact same. For
Knights Errant, because Knights Errant really good at chasing down wolves if they don't have the armor piercing variant.
For all intents and purposes, if I had an option for Wars of Chaos to get a cheap shock cavalry, I'd bring it every time against Skaven instead of Brawler Horsemen, because
Knights.
Yeah, because the Knights are just insanely expensive.
Also has Albert Wardlow, who is
almost died to a Warplock Engineer until the stupid pathing was
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Not armor piercing, not terror causing. His trident's okay against Stormbowman, that's it. Life caster, of course you need life caster. What else you get? Wait a second. Oh, he has Earthblood. Okay, I'll allow it. But he has, for some reason, he has shield of.
You don't need that much armor piercing against Skaven monsters, so.
I know, but you kind of want the terror causing. He's not on this thing.
Luwen is way better.
Because you get the shield as well. The blocks things. Skaven stuff. We got 2 Plague Claws. We got Warplate Giselles. We got Warplock Master. We got oh no, he's got both his casters again. Why do you think so many spells? Why is it? How many spells?
So many spells.
That's 6 spells.
Juicy spells.
He's got Skaven. He's got clan rats with shields, and these are expensive, but he's gonna blow them up with his Globadiers, and he's got Death Runners against Ratonia. Wait a second. why are they there? Why aren't they Eshin Triads at least? Why are they Death Runners?
You know, I was thinking of that.
You were thinking, were you? It really doesn't look like you were with this build.
Yeah, I know.
You sure about that?
I wanted to see. Well, it was more just I wanted to see how well the Death Runners would actually wipe out a unit of men-at-arms, so how fast they do it, and also you can see how poorly catapults do against hitting archers, even though they're a catapult.
They're a bit too spread out at this point.
Yeah,
too much. Also, that one hit a tree.
Damage is disgustingly low. Like when they hit, they only do.
Yeah, their AOE is so
small,
tiny.
Although luckily for you, somebody decided to put their spearmen behind the archer target.
Yeah,
so you're getting a bit of extra value there. They're taking some nice
think,
damage.
You know, the sad thing is the unit that I switched off and just started shooting his cavalry with. I just started shooting Ted's cavalry with.
Yep.
I got more value out of it.
Yeah, that was to be expected.
Yeah. So I probably should have just shot his cavalry the entire game with catapults. And
normally, the plague claws won't perform too well again. Oh my god, if that tree hadn't been in a way, that would have been an amazing hit. Normally, catapults and things with an arc of fire aren't very good against cavalry, but because Ted's playing, he just moves in one direction. The thing that makes arc of fire bad against cavalry is because they often change direction. So the time the projectile takes to travel, you can move out the way quite quickly.
It's like if you remember the replay where the plague claw catapult, I would just move forward and back and dodge with my infantry. Yeah. So I got a couple of throws off there. I'd use the warp lightning to see if I can do something to it. I think I almost break the archers, but it just misses all three shots.
Well, what's going on there, eh?
Yeah,
getting a bit close.
A little close there.
A little too close.
Run away! Run away! Yeah, I think I throw my I throw in the rat ogres to pretty much just bash up the men-at-arms.
Yeah, rat ogres are a pretty good target for archers, but he's not firing at them. I have a very
that immediately broke them, but I didn't micro my rat ogres properly, so.
Oh, some nice plague claw rounds could be coming in. Be nice.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ooh. Nope, miss.
Yeah.
Shame. Oh, that'll be Albert to try them. Going down to some vermin halberds.
Yep. Does really good damage.
Oh, a stun there, trying to stun this cavalry using the Eshin Triad spell.
Yeah, it actually catched a lot of them, and I just started throwing globes into it.
Yeah, it's really disrupting their ability to do anything. Because like right now, he's got what is that? Two over here. He's got all of this doing nothing for like the entire game. It's done nothing. None of this has done anything. This is on half health and it's not done a thing.
I also use a brass orb on top.
Oh, and a brass orb for even more damage. Yeah, they haven't done anything. If you bring more knights to the realm, it's harder to lock them down like that, and you can just come from all directions.
Actually,
you want to go for mass usually.
I got lucky and he inadvertently moved down for some reason, and I don't.
Yeah,
he wasn't even anywhere close to my globadiers. He just like turned away. It's like what? But yeah, I got that one Eshin spell actually got so much damage on his knights.
Oh my god, the knights take so much damage.
Storm them in the right bad idea. I mean, they
Ted, why do you bring expensive rail knights and throw them into storm vermin and then throw them into all of the damage from the Skaven? Actually, it should be noted that all the rail knights have like physical resistance, so they take extra damage from that. Oh yeah, he's getting locked down here by a nice cleansing ruin.
To slowly murder everything around it. I got the Death Runners with them, and I think we kill off the ROR unit.
Knights of the Lionhearted, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
but yeah, the archers effectively murder all of the Death Runners really easily. Technically, if those are Eshin Triads, Alberic probably would have been fucking dead here.
Yeah, but they're
I don't think so, because they don't.
Oh, there was a lot of volume of archers that fires coming in as well.
Yes, because they also die even easier because lower model count than Death Runners.
Yeah, but don't worry, Willow. I know this was a bad build.
Damn Skaven main can't even tell.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why the warp block engineer just kept turning his back. That's what. But yeah, Alberic starts dying from the warp block engineer because he has armor piercing.
That's what coming down on those spearman arms.
Yeah, because it's just heroes, so.
Rail knight charge going into the poison wind.
Another catapult shot. I think I started shooting. Yeah, they're shooting at that. Yeah. Alberic didn't get hit, or I think it was the men at arms distracting him. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a battle and a half against
It
Chef.
is a battle and a half.
The Grey Knights have
and,
taken so much value loss.
This is the big charge on the Warplock engineer screwed everything up because they kept attacking him, and he somehow, for some reason, kept turning his back to Alberic, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah, that's not what you want to do in a duel. So we can just watch this duel for the rest of it.
The worst part is the fact that I kept clicking on him to attack Alberic, and he just kept turning around. See?
Like perfect surround by the Granites. Every Granite could hit the
Oh my god, he's
end.
dead. There he goes. He goes down.
Yeah.
I think he went down in 20 seconds. He went down.
Yeah.
I think 1,800 HP or something.
Yeah, because Alberic got 2 free swings on him because his back kept being turned to him, and it's like, okay, all right.
Good old free
Why
swing.
this is so important is because if you turn the back to a unit, you basically like go down to 50% melee defense,
Yeah.
and by the sides it's like 2/3.
Oh yeah, he tries to use another spear here, and I move my units out of the way, and he kills some of his own men-at-arms.
I mean, men at arms, what are you gonna do? Acceptable
Yeah.
losses. You can see how low the morale's getting at the Stormfootmen there just then.
Yeah. Lord just died. I think the other Packmaster or
The
Ashencaster or Packmaster gets killed by
Ashen,
Alberic.
yeah, he's getting run down by Alberic over here.
But I still have 2, like, fairly healthy Stormvermin.
Decent combatant, the Ashencaster, but like, I mean, he's an
Yeah.
Ashen
He's not that, yeah, he's still a caster.
hero,
He's-
so
Yeah, he's only got 40 melee defense and 30 physical resist, so he can only survive for so long.
Yeah, still
I
has
mean,
these
for a
Stormfootmen,
caster,
but
that's
uh,
there's
actually insane.
still a chunk of ammo left on these archers.
I think I break those archers, and also I still
Yeah,
have
you're targeting the archers with
catapults.
the ammo.
And also I still have 2 Globeteers with ammo. Like, I probably could have won this because Ted had run out of ammo at this point.
He
It's
still
just
has this
I
one that
got
could
hit.
land with some more armor, but
I don't think you could have won this because Alberic is just too healthy and can cycle charge.
yeah, he is a fair bit
And
healthy.
I think
Maybe
there's some Grail Knights running around somewhere.
I think
There's
I
about
think he
I
runs
think
them
six
in
of
one
them
and they
there.
get
is still
routed.
alive.
I think they get routed off pretty easily.
Also, I don't know how much magic he has. Oh, well, actually, yes, speaking of magic, there's another Earthblood going down on Alberic. Although, wow, he didn't get him on the
Grail
Grail
Knights.
Knights.
A lot of magic. He didn't use that many spells.
But is Alberic going to be able to kill like the whole unit of Stormvermin on his own?
I think
they
they
have
might.
really low leadership.
Yeah,
Just, like,
with the
jump at
volume of
back
fire,
and,
there's still some like some archers. Like this unit can still fire as well. They're
Yeah.
about to rout like already. Yeah, but that'll probably be army losses when that Stormvermin routes because then there's literally nothing that can kill Alberic.
Yeah.
So there's
if I
just
had,
some more
like,
Stormvermin over here, but caught up
Yeah.
with Spearmen at arms. Oh, some nice sort of angled. I don't mind the throwing at this one. Should be probably firing at the. Oh yeah, there you go. You change target to the more ammo plentiful one.
Except it somehow missed catastrophically and hit the other unit behind it.
Some pox arrow going in to these Stormvermin.
That's why I don't like
That'll
playing
cause army
catapults.
losses.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them be useful once in a while because of the leadership, and it's good against like larger blob infantry and to like other artillery for counter artillery. But other than that,
Albert got okay, but well, actually, this Grail Knight unit did alright, but this one,
yeah.
that one didn't do so alright.
I think that was the one that got caught by the vortex
and
just
got destroyed.
murdered.
That's a lot of money
Yeah.
gone. Good
So
value
what's
on
the
those
Warlock
pox
engineer?
arrows. Oh, good value on all those peasant archers. Did very nicely.
Yeah.
Front line, of course, just doing against Skaven, just
Yeah.
to get too much done. 1,100 on the Warlock engineer.
Yeah. Okay.
Not an awful lot, but some Death Runners didn't
Yeah.
do an awful lot because it's a weird situation.
They're
for them
Death
to be in.
Runners.
Stormvermin did an awful lot because it's Stormvermin, they're bad. Globeteers, of course, did everything because it's Globeteers. Jezzail's also good because Jezzail's. Rat Ogres did do an awful lot. Plague Claws did okay. This one, I think, managed to get some. There was the one targeting the
think-
cavalry, wasn't it?
Well, one
That
of
was the
the
one.
main problems is that I didn't micro the Rat Ogres enough. I could have.
Yeah, I didn't
the
notice
one,
an awful lot. Also, they're fighting Grail Knights. I think.
one, you can tell which one was shooting the cavalry.
Yeah, the one that got all the value. The one that was
Yeah.
good.
Like it probably, if I shot both the catapults at the cav the entire game, probably would have won because he would have lost
Yeah, you
all of
would have
his
showed them
powerful cav.
real quick, and then you could focus the Jezzails on like the caster probably, or the anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah. It's just I could have won this if I played it better.
Would have also
because
worked out really
just-
well if you had to put like Death Runners behind him, and then just had them follow
Yeah.
behind, and then run into those archers, and you could have mopped them up really quick. Because Death Runners
Yeah,
will
yeah.
chew through them like instantly. They'll be dead.
Yeah.
Alright then. Well, that is it for today. Thank you all for watching. I shall end the recording now. Goodbye. Farewell.
Hey, see you guys.